Welcome to the GRG Podcast, the place for all your gaming news, plus hot topics of the week. Also, remember to follow us on Twitter at KMEGA4.
And a one.
What's up, everybody? What's happening? The GRG Podcast is live. Thank you guys so much for coming by and checking us out. Please, if you could be so kind to go share this out, go spread it out, let people know that we are live tonight. It's going to be a great night. Got a lot of topics. As you can see by the panel, we are deep tonight. And so we're going to go ahead and get down to it, man, get with it. So first off, man, I got a special guest. I have another guest here, you know what I'm saying? But I think he's only going to just be part-time because he wants to talk about one particular
goddamn
thing.
guest.
No, I ain't right. I'm just be chilling, bro. Leave me alone, bro.
So I don't even. So I'm gonna skip over you. I'm gonna skip over you.
Skip
Just
over.
okay, all right,
Ladies
cool.
first, man.
But
Where's
ladies
your
first.
manners
But ladies first. What are you talking about? I was over here just.
Not you.
Oh, okay, all right. So yeah, you know what I'm saying. But we have a lady in the presence. We're in the presence of a lady, ladies and gentlemen. And listen, right here, this is her first time on GRG. And right now, man, I'm just gonna just say it right here, man. I've got her. We've talked a little bit, and I've got her. I've talked to her about doing a project that I'm working on. And man, and her, and then Mitchie dies a lot, and then I'm going to be looking for some other people. But yeah, man, I got something in the works, and I want to make it lady eccentric. So for the best thing to do is to bring her on, let people hear, and be it just for herself and get familiar with her. You know what I'm saying? Because you're going to be hearing a lot more from her. And her name is D. And that was what she wanted to say. And what's happening with you? Tell everybody a little bit about yourself, man. For the people who do not know you, how did you start off gaming and all of that? What do you game on primarily? All that type of stuff.
Hola. Yes, I'm D. I have most of my gaming on the Xbox brand, but I do have my PS4, my Switch, my Vitas, my PSP. So been gaming for a minute, mostly action adventure. So that's basically where all my hours are in, but primarily Team Xbox for next gen right now. and I'll probably get my PS5 down the road with a remodel. But for now, just Series X. But I'll be on Twitter. I used to be on YouTube here and there, Twitch, but I just be mostly on Twitter, sharing foolishness of gaming mostly.
Yes. So, what are your other hobbies other than just just gaming? What else do you do?
I used to be a writer. I've actually very, very long ago wrote for a very small gaming company, which then got bought out. It was called Digital Noob. So I do still write here and there just to stay sane in these Corona streets. Besides that, I work in the medical industry. I work in a boutique. Like I just be having my hand in everything. I sew, I knit, I do old lady things. So I just be out here doing everything.
And you game. Good Lord,
and
boy,
I
put in work.
Yeah, so I'm always doing something. If I'm not gaming, I'm just with my quilt and a dog watching Murder, She Wrote, on a Friday night. But
Murder, She Wrote.
Yeah, old soul,
Oh,
old
my
soul.
bad.
My
Sorry.
goodness.
Wrong song. Love it.
Yeah, that's man. Murder, She Wrote didn't even have a theme song like that. Oh my god.
Hey, listen, the West Indians made it up, made that song up, and went right along with it. Murder, She Wrote. Yeah.
Oh man. All right. All right. So what? So D, what games are you playing right now currently?
Right now, honestly, because of Game Pass, I hop around a lot. So I'm actually not playing one thing particularly. So right now I'm playing Forza 4, Grand Theft 4, Saints Row 2, and there's another one in there. So I actually went back to Rise Son of Rome like 2 days ago and got like 4 achievements in it.
Nice.
Because that was on Game Pass, and you got to get achievement for the week and for the reward system. So I just be hopping around. But I hover between Forza 4 and Grand Theft 4 weekly. I haven't played Cyberpunk in a minute. I'm going to go back, though.
Oh, yeah, you're going to have to go back because that's greatness. I mean, it was...
I know.
I was fortunate to play it on the X. I mean, I know that for everybody who was having the problems and issues, and it still was buggy, and it was a hot mess at some points in times, but everything kind of worked the way that it was supposed to when you play in the story and all of that in the side mission. So yeah, I enjoyed it a lot.
It does, and I need to go back because I just met the monk, and his meditations be giving me life. So I got to go back and find the rest of his meditations.
Oh yeah.
So that I have to go back at some point, but I gave it a break for a second because I'm not ready to beat it again. So I had to pause.
No doubt. All right, well, great. Glad to have you on, man, and then we'll definitely talk after the show about the stuff that we're going to be doing later on. But all right, let's get on to the bums, and then we got a little extra bum in here, so we'll just go ahead and just throw his name in there. LG, what's up with you, man? I'm gonna have to come and pop in on some Fight Night, man. We've been playing on the PC
indeed.
here lately.
I see you, man. I'll be watching you, man.
Yeah,
It'll be fun. We'll be having a good time, man.
Yeah, we having a
I'll be
great time.
watching.
Yeah. You just wait for that certain game to come on, and then that's when you want to show up.
I just want to chill. I just want to chill. I'm trying to help support the people that I enjoy. You let them play their games, and sometimes, hey,
I want all the smoke, bro. I want all of it. I want all that fade, man. You know what I'm saying? Because that's the only way that I can take you down. I got to get you.
Right. Whenever that happens, right? Okay.
I've done it before, but I haven't done it consistently. That's the problem. So
he's already throwing smoke.
Yeah, I'm already doing it. Yeah. Did you hear his voice, Rain? Did you hear his voice? Mm-hmm. He was like, "Yeah, all right."
That's what I'm saying.
So for the people who don't know about you, LG, and what you do, man, let people know what you got going on, brother.
Dude, I am music, gaming, real talk shit. We out here doing fun stuff. I've just been quiet, man. I've been focusing on my content, just showing support to people like yourself, GRG, and everybody here. And also, I've just been just working on putting out the content, really. You know what I'm saying? We talking about all the juicy tidbits that's been going on in gaming, and so been mainly PC gaming, but I definitely had to show love for Xbox, Nintendo, PlayStation. Do it all. I love it all. What a time to be alive.
Yes.
You feel me?
Oh yeah, no, it's
honestly.
It's hotness everywhere,
Okay,
man.
if
you want to look for it, it's there. No doubt about that. All right. So now, what's going on 108, man? I ain't heard from you all week, brother, man. I seen you pop a couple of videos and stuff like that, but man, I ain't heard from you in a little bit. What's been going on? What you doing?
I'm playing Octopath Traveler because I ain't had to pay for it.
What?
Yo, I saw you playing it too. I wasn't paying $60 for that.
Bro, I was suspect on it. I was like, man, you know how I feel about older
I've been
games. I've been there,
Twitch.
done it. But yo, that game is special, no doubt about it.
It's all right, but it ain't worth $60. Looking like a indie game. Should have been on that showcase today. That's what it should have been. But I've been playing. I played my PS5 a lot this week. I played the Sackboy Adventures. I like that. You know, I like my platformers and my usual Call of Duty, PUBG. You know, Fortnite. I got John Wick characters, so I had to go in there and drop some people John Wick status. You know, competitive scene.
Right.
I'm still trying to force myself into a single player, but it's hard. I get bored.
Yeah,
you got nobody to talk crap to.
Yeah, true. I
I'm
get
addicted to online play. It's crazy.
No doubt.
That's what I've been doing.
All right, man. Okay, so I see my boy Still Rain in the building, and also, man, yeah, you got something to let everybody know about coming up here tomorrow morning. What's going on with you, Rain?
Nah, what's going on? You know what it is. It is I, and I am him, the one and only Still Rain, man. Look, again, we in the GRG kingdom tonight, man. We in here with the gods, and we just gonna feed y'all some topics tonight. Like, look, KMEGA, he wanted to feed it to y'all early, so I'll go ahead and feed it to y'all, man. Tomorrow morning, Saturday mornings, from this day until I say no more. Or my partner. We got Living Split Screen Podcast, man. Saturday mornings, we here to wake you up, give you them vibes, give you that energy to really lead you into that weekend and just get your day started. You know what I mean? Get the gaming news off top. And we talking about everything, not anything one specific. It's not Xbox, it's not PlayStation, it's not PC, it's not Nintendo. It's a little bit of everything, man. And at least what we could do and just put our own little vibe on it. Our energy again. If you like what I'm doing here, man, I'm just gonna carry it on and everything else that I do. This is natural for me, so hopefully y'all enjoy it. Hopefully y'all feel my brother Paul Soul. He's been a legend in the community as far as like the chats and just putting out knowledge out there, brother. So hopefully y'all enjoy it, man. Again, tomorrow morning, 9 a.m. Central, I think it's 10 a.m. Eastern, and then 2 p.m. UK time. I think I'm getting that link
in the chat and start playing with people's feelings.
That's a fact. I'm gonna do that too. You ain't never lied. But yeah, I'm gonna do that, and yeah. Again, KMEGA, appreciate you for having me on, man.
Oh, no doubt. I was already talking.
Pong is a good dude. That's my guy. He's a white guy, right?
Yeah.
Oh, so you know what it is? It's another light skin podcast.
Hold on. But hold on. D is she's chocolate. You know what I'm saying? So hey, you know this is.
So it's LG from his icon.
So we.
LG's on it too?
No. I said D. I'm talking about the lady on the.
Oh, she's on it.
No, he's talking about tomorrow.
Right now.
I'm talking about right now.
I'm talking about tomorrow. I ain't talking about tonight. We got two chocolate thunders in here. We see you in the building. You're still a minority.
Oh my God. Anyway, all right, let me keep going. PK Live, what's happening with you, bro? I seen you been doing that work up there with Clowns.
Yo.
You know what I'm saying? Clowns always was doing the damn thing when it came to the interviews and stuff like that, man. You just being a part of it, I'm pretty sure you're like a kid in the candy store. So how's everything going with you, brother?
Well, like
I've been putting in that work. Definitely helping out to get get these people and having good conversations. For sure, Lemon promised that he was gonna come play Smash when he woke up from his nap. I don't know how that's gonna play out later, but
So you saying Lemon takes old man naps?
I mean,
Do we have a little graham cracker and warm milk before he does it?
I gotta get up for my GRG situation. Facts.
Okay, all right.
You don't want me on here like, yo, you know what I'm saying? Y'all gonna think I'm on drugs. Gotta be funky.
That is true.
Yeah, I mean, that's a little too late for that.
Oh, wow. Go ahead. Hey, PK, you sound a little low, brother. You know what I'm saying?
Hey,
go ahead.
So I definitely been put in some work. I'm working on a video right now and trying to get back slowly in game. I got new things coming down the road for sure. I'm definitely like hanging out with you guys, hanging out with Lemon tomorrow in the Dragon's Den in a little cave, and
that fire. Yeah, a little Puff the Magic Dragon. You know what I'm saying? Action.
Poof, poof. Let's get popping.
He said in a little cave.
He said a little cave.
Puff, but
You
you
hear
don't get
PK?
burned like rain and fire.
Man, PK with this
Hey,
with this
I
with
bring
this
the rain.
slander, man. He said a little
No,
cave.
no.
Damn,
Hey, man,
little
this-
den.
Hey, I'm just
Oh.
trying to give descriptions. You know what I mean?
Oh,
It's just-
okay.
hey, look,
He
look.
talking about his crib is little, not mine.
Oh, okay. Gotcha.
Hey, hey.
Oh,
I'm sorry.
Nigga
I'm
small, you know what I'm saying? I got it. It's
I'm
fire. It's fire all day, every
Go to
day.
yawn in the morning.
Facts.
He touched both sides of his house. It's
Oh
ridiculous.
my God. Okay, here we go. Anyway,
That's right. That's right.
I'm sorry. I'm
All
sorry.
right.
I am.
No, you're not.
You're not sorry.
No,
You're not sorry.
I'm
But
not.
then we move in. Last but not least, man. Probably the most stable on the crew is probably Six Slayer, man. What's
Damn,
happening
that's
with?
crazy.
You know what I'm saying? I mean,
Last
man.
but certainly not least.
Uh.
But hey everybody! Oh my God, what a week, man! What a week! It's just been a odd week. Actually, not so odd, but maybe in a couple years ago we would have had thought so. But it's been a continuing, ongoing story. All these, things that people say, blowing up in people's faces, and people having new understandings about certain things. If you follow my meaning.
Yes.
Right. And but other than that, the struggle is real, man. If you're trying to buy a video card or any kind of high-end PC hardware as of late, PK, man, is very lucky he didn't struggle too hard. But let me tell you, the struggle is real for me trying to get one of these NVIDIA cards. And shout out to D-Bash, who's always putting up links as soon as he hears, like instantly. And in fact, I follow him and I even set it up so I get an instant notification. I happen to be looking at Twitter. The notification pops up. I hit the link instantly. Within less than a second, I'm there, and it's already sold out. And it's just like, wow, I couldn't have done anything better, any faster, reacted any faster, and I still missed it. And it's just like, wow, this will never happen. I'm starting to feel, but I gotta keep trying. But other than that, man, the week's been good, and we got lots of topics to talk about. So let's
get to it.
Let's hit it.
All right. So, and then I got to throw a little extra one in. This is for LG because I thought that this was really interesting. It was basically about this game called what was it called? Something to Fallujah.
6 days in Fallujah.
6 days in Fallujah, which is starting some controversy. Which basically it's a game that seems to be tailored from the events that came out in Iraq in the war in Iraq, where they've actually talked to real soldiers and real jihadists, or I guess they were the Taliban back then, in Taliban members, and they've got this perspective to make this game. I'm gonna tell you right now, folks, watching that trailer of that game was really intense. Really strong co-op. It seems it's going to be a 4-player co-op. Now I don't know if it's going to be like if it's just 4-player co-op on you're just the American soldiers, or if it's going to be like 8-player co-op, kind of like how we see with I don't know how many people are in Siege right now, but kind of like if it might be like Siege, but from what they just showed, from what I seen in the gameplay, was just the American soldiers, and it's a lot of teamwork. It's really deep. It's one of those things where it's like
it's procedurally generated too.
Right. Like, and yeah, you just don't deal with the same things over and over and over again. So the thing of it is why I go to LG on this first, because this is what I wanted to talk about was. That there's people that's upset with this game, and I guess they want it to be canceled. How do you feel about that?
We kind of talked about it earlier, and I've been fighting with a few people. Like I in general, I think when it comes down to canceling games, when it comes to people making a voice, it's cool to make a voice, make a complaint about the game or whatever. But when you want to cancel a game just because it exists, we have a problem. If you don't like something, you have the ability to turn your eye away from it. If you're not feeling a game, if you're not understanding what's going on with it, or even if you don't like the story, whatever reason, you have a right as a consumer to move away from said game and say, hey, I don't like this, and that's it. The problem that I'm noticing is that there's a lot of there was a lot of people that were getting involved with the act of trying to get this canceled. There were people that were trying to get filling out a petition and trying to send it to like Xbox, Steam, even the UN, trying to get this involved. And I'm like, why are y'all worried? Like, and these are like some of them are game developers, some of them are community managers for EA. And it's like, bro, why are you trying to cancel this game? Because that sounds illegal. Like, if you're a member of another company and you're trying to get another company down, especially like games like EA, the people that are involved, in Ubisoft, which are people that are involved with some of the more known violent games, you know what I'm saying? Like, why? It sounds like you're trying to get rid of the competition, and it also sounds like you're trying to, do something a little bit more sinister. Now, to criticize the game, maybe if it hits too close to home, or maybe it's too real, okay, that's, you could criticize it all you want. But to actively go out and try to cancel said game and to say that it's going to encourage mass shooters, and I'm using this in massive air quotes here, that's where I draw the line, and it's saying, look, you're just doing too much, and just let that shit go. You know what I mean? Does that make sense?
Oh yeah, no, I get your point. So let me go to the let me go to the lady. What do you think, D, about what he's saying? Do you agree, or do you have a different opinion on it, or anything like that?
So I also just heard about this week. Gently, because there's been so much stuff. It's been hard to like hear everything.
Right.
So I've seen the name float. I've seen the name float around. I've seen some concerns, but because I'm mostly on Twitter, and a lot of times when there's something being canceled, or there's somebody that's being canceled, things of that nature. If you look at like who's doing the cancellation, if there's like a commonality, I usually kind of like, oh, well, they added again, that kind of thing. But you bring up a good point where it's just like, I don't like this game, so I'm going to bring it to members of government and things of that nature because I don't like it. And that can be very dangerous because when I hear that, I also hear the next Grand Theft coming out and people not liking it and taking it to members of government. And it's just like, okay, you do this now, but when this precedent is set and it's a game that you like, you're going to be upset. So it's kind of like, you definitely want to express your opinions and your voice and things of that nature. But if it's a game that you don't want to play, you don't want to see, I'm the same way. If I see something, I'm just like, yeah, I'm not with that. I'm not going to play it. I'm not going to give it my money. That's how I show I don't support it. Like, I feel like voting with your wallet is very effective. And I feel like a lot of companies are aware of that, EA being one of them, Activision being one of them. Like, voting with the wallet works. So me being like, I'm good on that, I'm not giving it any attention, any money, any play, I think is sufficient for me. But I think bringing a game that you don't like is, one, a sense of entitlement, and two, it's setting a poor precedent. So you can't sit here and bring this up. Don't be crying when your favorite game that's going to get made is on the, on the pedestal to get
on the chopping block. Yeah, right.
Yeah, you can't. You gotta just work it out in the community, do your little petition, do your whatever. But to me, that's crossing the line because when it's your turn, you're not gonna be pleased. So basically, keep that same energy.
That's a great point.
They're creating a monster that's going to end up biting them in the ass. And I'm like I said, they keep playing, keep doing it. I'm waiting for these motherfuckers to do it. Go ahead, try it if you want to. Go ahead.
So,
because when your turn next, I'm gonna laugh. I'm gonna sit there, sip my tea, and laugh.
Sip my tea.
Well, it's one of those things where it can definitely it could change. If people could find out that they have that type of power to dictate what kind of games should be played or should be made, then yeah, it could open Pandora's box. Slayer, what do you think about this, man?
Well, I really don't want to have to repeat too much that the previous two panel members just said on the topic. Suffice to say that I agree. So I just want to continue on with other aspects of this topic I feel that are relevant. Except for one thing I do want to shout out to D for mentioning. It used to be, when someone would say something, just way out of left field or off the cuff, something like this situation here, people would just roll their eyes and move on, and these people and these notions wouldn't get any real play. But now with the internet, especially with social media, we have the echo chamber effect. and all types of fringe elements and ideas that were easily dismissed and discredited and given no attention at all and given nothing but ridicule, is getting attention and play and views, and and more people who don't know anything are falling into it. And this is just another example of all of this. I remember the first Gulf War, after it ended and they had all the parades and stuff. I remember a lot of the planning for the parades was to also include Vietnam vets, because at the time when they came home, there wasn't really any real life for the troops when they came home back, in the 70s when the Vietnam War ended, and there was a lot of, how can I like disrespect and disdain from the public, because that was a very unpopular war. And so too with this with the Iraqi war, or the global war on terror, it's gotten that same reaction. And it took years later, after another war, for people to realize, the disrespect the troops were shown and things like that. And I just think this is that same level of mentality. It's that same idea or concept. And then, years later, anybody who's thinking this is gonna look back and be like, I was a bad point of view, bad optics or whatever. So I just think, this is really just like, social media had a hand to play in this. I mean, but if you've seen the upper echelon gamers on YouTube, I mention him all the time. He has a great video on the subject he put out today. And I like how he explained it. All this really is right now is a petition on some website where you put your name and an email. You even have to be a real name or a real email. And, people feel like they've done something, But this is just a petition that's out there and it's getting some press. But most of the press seems to be like, huh, look at these morons over here. And, so I don't think it's going to go any further than this. But it's still unfortunate that people are thinking this way. And so that's what I think.
No doubt about it. PK, what is your thoughts about this?
Ooh. If it ain't on the Switch, it doesn't matter. Next.
He always have a delay because he cuts his mic off, so I thought it was. I'll try to give him a second on it, but all right. So let me go to Rain on this. What do you think about this, Steel?
Oh shit, I'm tired.
I mean, I feel like them pulling attention back to it is just kind of there's too many other games, man, that do the same thing. I mean, are we gonna have a fight about the whole games about Nazis again, or are we just gonna continue this with every other game that we talk about? There's been games that are like this, so it's like, there's always seems like this group of people every 5 years, 10 years or so that really make this hard push to put this boundary on video games that I feel like it doesn't need to be there. Again, they're creating the game, they're creating the vision. Apparently, the game is going to be set up to be like random maps. It's pre-generated and whatnot. It's another objective-based game. You get the same thing from Call of Duty. This is just based on an actual story. But who's to say that Call of Duty, somebody didn't sit in the Call of Duty boardroom and was like, yeah, that war story that you had, we're going to use that for this one. You know what I mean? So it's like, is it just because it's like, what's really the agenda? I mean, I don't think, at the end of the day, I just think it's another one of those BS moves that people just try to put on gaming. You know what I mean? Like, oh, everybody's this way because of gaming. No, bro, you just need to whoop your kids and stop being snitches. Like, you gotta adjust. Nah.
Sit down and actually talk with your kids too. That's the other part.
Yeah, facts. You gotta have conversations, man. I mean, that's what it's about. If you want to have an open conversation about what happened back in the day, yeah. Well, I mean, we need to be up on that, because I mean, the senseless killing, just the same way it's going on in our own country, is fucking ridiculous from any form of government. You know what I'm saying? So, and the important stuff matters, but I just don't think that this is something that should be that big of a deal. I don't know.
All right, cool. Now I'm going to go to you, 108. I'm pretty much in unison with everybody else here so far. And I think maybe for the most part that everybody's going to kind of agree with the same thought process of what LG
Because
is
we all
thinking.
biased because we're gamers.
Well, no, but that was my point that I was going to say was that I was going to do the devil's advocate. I was going to say, look, I get this is because I feel like movies, music, video games, they should be able to tell really compelling, dark, type of stories sometimes. And but I do understand that it can be, some people can get too dangerous and and take things and make it really risky. Like, I mean, there's certain video games out there that shouldn't be out, in my opinion. But I don't know. What do you think about this 108 overall?
I think they need to stay the hell out of our business and let the highest entertainment on the planet, profit wise, be what it is. It's a game.
Out of our business,
Stay out of our business. If you mad, don't let your kids play. My kid gonna play. I'm gonna play. My friends gonna play. My partners in crime gonna play. We gonna play. If you mad, you ain't gonna stop nothing. That's the biggest money maker on the planet.
Facts.
So your little opinion boot ant. Nobody cares. I'm done.
No doubt.
All it's going to do is going to make it a bestseller at this point. I think I wouldn't be surprised if it ends up becoming a game of the year.
Well, it's only going to be on PC from my understanding.
Free press.
So it's free press for the game for sure.
Free press.
Yeah, that's a point I don't. Yeah, that's free press. It's going to get more sales. Duh, morons.
Yeah,
any game they should complain about. Excuse me, KMEGA. Any game they should complain about. I even raised my eyebrows about some shit in GTA.
Facts.
I was like, whoa, maybe that shouldn't be in the game.
Hey man, there was parents that had like 10-year-old kids that was standing in line when we was picking up GTA back in 2013, and I could not believe, like, in the first hour of that game, what was happening. Like, I said, what? And I just remember seeing all those kids with their parents standing out there at GameStop getting this game, and I'm like, this game is way over the top. But I mean, as an adult, it was cool. But I mean,
no, the adult scene. I'm not gonna get into graphics. The paparazzi mission.
Yeah,
that's what I'm saying. That's that's within the first hour.
That was not necessary.
I was very uncomfortable.
I wasn't uncomfortable, but I just was stunned that they did something like that.
Paparazzi scene. I gotta remember that scene because I
all my GTA fans, y'all know what I'm talking about.
I think I remember.
You're driving around taking pictures of people.
Yeah.
Even in the beginning of it too.
Yeah, that was in the beginning of the game. Yeah, like, I mean, that should have been like deep in like the 30th, 40th hour. Yeah, I mean, and then hot coffee and all that other stuff. And I mean, and I'm glad that you agree with what I was saying, Dark Ottomus. I just look at it from an Pred. I'm saying, I love what Pred, as he's a soldier himself, and he was like, people on the petition probably never served in the military. Something you can do in real life, but love playing fantasy games where they can be dark elf and shoot fire from their hands. See, that's another thing too. Like, if this was from soldiers that was saying, "No, this game's too much, bro," then I could totally agree with that. But if you remember, they did this to For Honor because you was going to get, and then like you could play as the Taliban, you could play as American soldiers, you could play as other world soldiers and things like that. And they were like, it's just too realistic. It's too
people can't handle the truth. Korea mad? North Korea was mad how they was depicting something Pong, whatever his name is.
Yeah.
We're upset. He's a tyrant. Y'all can't have internet. Y'all can't go outside at a certain time. Y'all mad at a game? You should be mad at him.
And then ain't there a couple of games, like there's a couple of real-time strategy games that do that shit. Like, you can control other countries, and some of them, like, I think like Something to Steal, like Iron to Steel, where you can literally control Hitler. Like, so I'm like, these are like they're fictional games.
Like that too.
I wasn't gonna buy that game. I'm buying it just because.
So
I wanted to irritate the hell out of you.
Yeah.
Just because.
Well, no, I'm definitely going to support. I'm definitely going to support the game. The game is called It's 6 days of Fallujah.
And I'm putting on my face paint while I'm streaming.
Oh no, and then but I would love to play with Fred and then because listen,
Yeah, I'm about
it was very intense, and I'm like, this is what I like games that's really intense like that. But it was almost like, I mean, it almost felt like a horror game because it was like it felt so real. But
And it was made. It was inspired by soldiers. Did you see
right,
the
right,
dude?
yeah. Like, I
Yeah,
mean,
soldiers work with the developers on
right,
it.
yeah. So like
Right.
that's what you want when they're telling a story. You don't want somebody who's not been on the fields, that doesn't have any military experience to make these games. Call of Duty is different because that's like a Michael Bay style. Battlefield
Yes.
Battlefield is more more simish, but it still kind of holds true. But it's still an entertaining game. But there should be games that can be hard hitting that can touch.
These are the same dudes that's complaining that lives through John Wick and Yippee Ki-Yay.
Yeah.
They hype for that. Oh, it's good when he throwing people off a skyscraper and shooting them on the way down with a rocket.
Right.
Or he going to a room and shoot 60 dudes with one clip. Oh, they good with that.
I've noticed the hypocrisy of a lot of people. I mean, I try not to get into the conversation, but I just want to drop it out there that when Bethesda was like, yo, let's kill some Nazis on Wolfenstein, there was uproar. But Spec Op The Line, praise for the storytelling. This game right here is a problem. And it's just like
Spec Op was deep.
But now I ain't beat it yet.
Oh.
Disclaimer.
Okay. I was like that was one of those. I was like, what? Oh,
I started it.
Oh, Spec Ops The Line?
Yes.
Yeah.
And
the dark. Oh yeah.
I see where it's going, and I'm getting a feeling of where it's going, and it's just like, okay, y'all praising this. It's like, look at the perspective. The perspective of Spec Ops The Line, it's getting praised, but 6 Days of Fallujah, it's like, okay, we talked to Iraqi civilians. It's like, whoa, pump your brakes, pal. What are you doing? It's just like, so where's the line? Y'all mad that we're killing Nazis in Wolfenstein? Y'all like Spec Ops The Line because whatever, but listen, there's a reason why you need a legal ID to purchase a rated M game. Let little Timmy and whatnot pay his little Minecraft, little Fortnite, those little dances and whatnot. This is for the adults. The same way you wouldn't let your child watch, well, maybe you would, watch a rated R movie.
I would.
Some wouldn't, but I feel like if you were let your kid watch a rated R movie, you wouldn't complain about a rated M game because you know what's up.
Old-fashioned thing. You see something you don't want your kid to see, you do the old-fashioned thing. You take your palm and you cover the kid's eyes. Close your ears.
Right. Or get out the room. You know what I'm saying? Matter of fact, get out the room.
When I call you.
That's my biggest thing. It's just like, this game is not for kids. You damn right. Like, that's what the label says right there. You right. Like, you bought it.
In the 90s, they made it to where the Newt Gingrich and all them, they made it to where the games was basically, you had to have some kind of labeling on it, just like you did with music. And and that's the thing. Like, we have to be in a situation where we have to let parents parent, and then we also have to understand that parents can't use these devices as their parenting tools. You gotta have to parent. So it's
these consoles are people's babysitters.
Right. That's what I'm saying. They're babysitters, right? So
that's the problem with a lot of these games now, is because I think that's the biggest issue, because a lot of these people failed to parent, and now they threw their kids in front of the TV, and now all of a sudden it's like, oh my God, I can't believe this is on TV. This is what my kid is playing. Oh, this is what the hot coffee mission is in fucking GTA. Yep. No shit, Sherlock. You should have been watching Little Timmy. Instead, you wanted to sit up here and watch Love and Fucking Hip Hop.
Shout out to the Timmy.
Oh my gosh.
Then instead of choosing to parent, instead they just
It's just
go ahead.
I just
everybody in the room is, but in the 80s, parents was complaining about. Well, the Congress was complaining that the Rubik's Cube was keeping students from learning in school nationwide. These are the same people. And you got a problem with everything that did not involve the Rubik's Cube.
That's even showing people that sound of intelligence.
They was like, yo, it's distracting our kids every day. They're doing it. They can't do their homework. I'm like, yeah. If that parent is allowing their kid to do that, they need to get their ass whooped. and then they kid me to get their ass
Right.
whipped. Are you serious?
Yeah.
You're gonna shut down Rubik's Cube? These are the same people.
It was
Just
real.
different
It was
era.
real.
They're just picking different subjects to fit whatever form. I guarantee you, video gaming was giving them a Congress check, they wouldn't say a word.
Yeah.
Right.
But they can't get none of that money.
It's always something.
It's always something.
It is.
And that's why I stand up for these. Like that's why I stand up against these people, because like too much time it's like, oh, we just let it go. But if you let it go, they keep getting more emboldened to say,
Correct.
to do the shit like this. So that's why, like, if you do see me on Twitter, I'm going against these little, idiots' heads, bro. Like, leave my games alone, bro. I've been gaming since.
Right, Blackfish, you got a control in it.
I'm like, get
the mouth to make the gaming.
Fuck that shit, bro.
Man,
And two things I want to say real quick. Like, if you remember back in the day with the whole Mortal Kombat thing in front of Congress, and Joe Lieberman said, listen, you better regulate this or we will, okay?
Right.
And so what they do, they created the ESRB. Then he went back to them and he was like, I applaud what you did. You did exactly what we wanted. I'm paraphrasing, basically. And he was cool with it. Okay, a couple years later, Joe Lieberman was up in that argument again because he was always one of those, senators.
He couldn't stand video games,
right?
Yeah.
And then there was that lawyer guy, I forget his name, but he tried all this crap, and basically it made for a lot of scientific evidence to come up. So I think it was in 2011, I'm quoting that YouTube video I mentioned before, where Supreme Court released a study. Video games do not cause violence. This is government study. Independent studies have done countless ones. We've heard of. It's been tried and tested in the court of law, in the court of science. This is just, it's been done. It's been wrapped up ages ago. This is us. It's just complete foolishness.
You know what? I'm going to do my GT. I'm going outside of my hood. I'm snatching people up their cars. I'm kidnapping everybody. I'm doing it.
All right, bro. I mean, listen. GRG is not as a business now. GRG is not responsible for what 108 Dragons TV will do. I you know what I'm saying? I'm detesting that. That man is on his own anyway. But
can you imagine in a drive-by, you over here, all you hear is some music, and then the last thing you hear is gaming news.
Oh, you know what I'm saying? Oh my gosh, that's ridiculous. Anyway.
I'm chasing the military and the hood all at the same time.
The last thing you hear is facts.
Brooklyn, don't forget Brooklyn. All right, anyway, all right, man. Let's get on to the PK. I came to you earlier. Are you there? Are you back? Okay, all right. So
I am back. I had to switch over.
Oh, okay, all right.
I could hear the whole time, but I had technical difficulties.
Oh, okay. Now your mic is really loud, so you gotta.
He's swallowing this mic. Get the mic out your throat.
Yeah, so you're good. All right. So okay. So what is your thoughts about this before we move on to the next topic?
We can move on because I didn't get to.
Oh yeah. All right.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Yep.
Well, thank you, LG, man, for that. I mean, if you're sticking around, that's cool. But if not,
sticking around for a bit.
Oh, okay. Well, I didn't ask you to.
Stay in competition.
You know what I'm saying? Anyway, but no, that's a great point. No, I really, that was a great point because I was like, man, that, I felt the intensity of that game, and I was just kind of like, man, that's just a great startup, to get the show started. But man, that was a great discussion, guys. All right, so let's get to it. ID Xbox was shown today. And so, man, we got to go to the lady, man. D, what was your thoughts? Did you get a chance to watch it? And if you did, what games were you just hyped for that you seen?
So, unfortunately, I didn't get to see it. Mm-hmm. I was at work, so I didn't get to see anything. Mm-hmm. But I just saw a list of the games, and I was scrolling for like a good 5 seconds. And I was like, okay, this looks kind of healthy. It's kind of thick. So I'm at a loss for words as far as, Xbox is doing as far as this Game Pass situation. Like, it was already a value for me, but just seeing all this stuff that was added. I knew Among Us was coming, which is pretty nice, because I like to play it. but I don't get to play on my mobile devices often because, if I'm in the house, I'm going to use a PC or something. But there are a couple of things on there. Team 17 is on there. Princess Farmer was on there. So again, the magic of Game Pass, it's nice because I'm all about choice and I like having choices. I don't understand this common new trend of not having choices and liking it. So having all these options, ID Xbox getting a spotlight was really good to see, even after the fact, because I feel like when Idea Xbox was first announced, it was like, hey, we're doing Idea Xbox, indie titles, rah rah. And I was like, okay, that's cute. And every kind of reel or any kind of game showcase, it was like, we still got Idea Xbox, but it didn't really have a time to shine and have a focus just on them. So to see that happening is really a lot of promise, especially on the dawn of a new system. So I'm really excited about it, especially when it's already included in what I have on my system. So I think it's a win all around.
No doubt about that. What about you, PK? Did you get a chance to watch it, and what games stood out for you?
So I would say I didn't get to watch it, as I have the same kind of situation like D. I was working, and unfortunately, I think at that time I also had something else going on at the same time. So unfortunately, I didn't get to. Can somebody just confirm to me, was Hades coming to Xbox?
I did not see Hades, but I have seen
new games, unannounced games, and coming soon games from previous trailers. It was not to announce a game.
I heard the rumor about Hades, but I mean,
Hades is an ID indie.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, we haven't seen
it is an indie.
Hades. Yeah.
You got to switch, right?
I have it on PC, but I have it on Steam, but I would like to have it on Xbox for achievements.
Crossbar, yeah, facts. That would be nice. It's an awesome game.
Okay, all right. Well,
it won Game of the Year for indie Game of the Year last year, so I figured that would be fire for it to come to Xbox.
Yeah, it's awesome. The game is fun. The game is.
I mean, it's reportedly
it's like Demon Souls. Just want to tell y'all now.
Oh, it's a tough little game. It's fun though. Yeah, it's a tough little game, but it's cool.
Game is hard.
That game is my jam, so I will smack the crap out of it and get 1,000 at 1,000. I just want it on Xbox.
Yeah, well, it's reported back in January. It was reported that it's coming to Xbox to Game Pass and sometime in 2021. But again, do anybody know who makes Hades?
Oh, I can't remember, but I
gotta check. Giant Game, something like that. I think.
Okay, all right.
I think they're the same ones who make Transistor.
Oh, yep, that's right. That's the same ones who make
Super
Transistor.
Giant
Okay, right. Okay, Good deal. All right, well, cool. All right, so let me go to Still Rain on this one. Did you get a chance to watch the show, and what games did you? If you did, caught your interest.
So I didn't get a chance to watch the show. I listened to the entire show for the most part, at least for the 2 hours and 30 minutes. And also tuned into the Iron Lords and also tuned in with Boom. But the games that I was hyped for the most in the indie showcase was Aerial Knights and Song of Iron, just because those two games specifically are made from people within the community, within our community. So they've made their rounds. They've been on with the Lords and whatnot. So that's dope to see their games really finally taking that next step forward. Looks like they're all coming out 2021 as far as like Aerial Knights and Song of Iron goes. But then they let it in with Exo Mecha. Again, listening to it, I've seen the gameplay. Also ran it back before we hopped on tonight. And dude, I was hyped for the game before. It's gonna look if it's supposed to be a free to play game that's coming out in Game Pass, and if they do it right, because it looks like Titanfall on steroids. Except they kind of took out the wall run. I didn't see any wall running, but they kind of took some of the elements that they put in Call of Duty as far as like the underwater shooting and being able to move around underwater with your guns and whatnot. They got big time battles. They got spider mechs, regular tanks. So it looks like over the top. it feels like it has a lot of potential, so I'm definitely interested in that. But they didn't show much else. That was Exo Mecha.
Yeah,
Exo Mecha. Okay.
Exo Mecha, yeah. It looks dope. It's an FPS game. It looks dope. It has a lot of potential. It's a Titanfall-ish. What else? What's another game that it's like? Transformer kind of. But mainly just because it has there's bigger mechs that they have like swords and shields, and there's like a dragon that comes in, and they all have this chrome finish to them. It's dope. It looks really dope. Hopefully there's some ground to it other than just a pretty house on the outside. So other than that, Exo 1 was cool. Everything else, man, I was kind of the Ascent. That was dope. I've been hyped for that. I thought we were going to get an announcement for that today. That didn't happen. Other than that, to be completely honest with you, the idea at Xbox Showcase was trash.
What?
Sad. And the only reason
somebody got to mute his
What?
And the only reason that I say that because it's not about the games. It's not about the games that they show, but it's the presentation. It was boring. It was not entertaining. I don't know who they expect to watch it. It's one thing if they would have put all the interviews and the deep dives and everything else towards the end of the show for people who are interested in that. But you cannot expect for something that you're going to show to a wide audience for that type of show to catch on. The hosts were dry, no energy. You expect to be representing the gaming community, and you expect for people to be paying attention to it. That was my problem with it, and I was listening to it. When I got home and actually watched it, the voiceovers were off. What are you doing? Who's paying you? Who's paying you? What is going on?
What?
Is that supposed to be ID at Xbox?
Slander.
That was my problem with it. Like, if we're gonna keep it a buck, if we're gonna keep it 100, that is not the way to do it. The last two shows, we coming off the Nintendo and the Sony, them both being kind of average, and then you going into this ID at Xbox, you expect for people to watch 4 hours of content to watch indie games that not necessarily everybody cares about, and that's part of the problem. You need to put the interesting stuff in the beginning to get the people even paying attention. It didn't make sense. You didn't grab anybody. There's people throughout the community who do not get it. Again, it was a fail on Microsoft's part as far as marketing goes. You didn't market it correctly. Even with no hype. I had no expectation. I want that to be known. I had no expectation. I had never been really deep about indies, but I respect them for what they are because they grow the gaming scene. Without indies, some of your biggest games would not be what they are today. And as a fact, look at PUBG and what it did to Fortnite. Biggest example that I can give you.
Okay, all right. Well, I mean, listen, you was bringing
I
respect the games. The games are cool.
These views that are expressed by Steel Rain is not those of the rest of the people on GRG.
Listen. No, there ain't no ejecto C cut. Everything is all right. Like, I mean, look, I love the fact that I love. Listen, no. This is the thing right here is that people need to understand about this crew. Nobody's a yes man. Everybody is entitled to say what they feel and finish what they have to say. So if we agree or if we disagree, but that was some delicious slander, Rain. I ain't gonna even lie to you.
Just keep it 100 with
you keep it 100. I love it. I do. If you like it, I love it. That's I'm gonna use your term on that, brother. That was if you like it, I love it. And I was not expecting that, but. Hey, I appreciate you keeping it 100. One more.
Anybody else who disagreed, just tell me what you liked about it.
Okay. Well, hold on. Okay, I want to get everybody to get their conversation
Other
out.
than games.
I mean, okay, but hold on. No. I'm not trying to round up the troops. I'm just saying this. You talking about the chat? Hey, man, there's a couple of people that's agreeing with Rain. But anyway,
he started trying to.
all right, so I want to ask you this one question before I go to a 108 because it seems like 108 is over here pounding his chest ready to go. So
I want to hear it.
I do too. So you said you just listened to the show. You didn't watch it, right?
No.
Okay.
I
you didn't-
watched
it was at work,
about
yeah.
an hour of it when I got home.
Okay. All right. Cool. All right. So 108. Your turn. I mean, what did you
Oh,
like
boy.
or what did you dislike? What did you feel about it?
I'm kind of with Rain, but I thought it was gonna be by myself.
Oh, okay. Oh my goodness.
But
Oh,
hold on. Let me say why. Let me say why.
Mhm.
First of all, it's an indie showcase. You don't see big hype trailers. It's not. It don't have that big funding behind it.
Mhm.
You know, the dudes working in their garages, and some like 3 people or 2 people in their
Yeah,
basement.
oh,
I
man,
get it.
come
I
on,
get, but
man.
hold on. I'm not an indie dude like that. There's indie titles, yes, that I rock. The major ones. I'm not a dude that go out there and spend all this money on goddamn indies because I don't spend money on next gen consoles to be playing sprite-based games. I told you, I was not buying Octopath Traveler because it looked like an 8-bit Nintendo game. I'm not giving you $60 for that. I watched the whole showcase. There was some eye openers. I really wanted to see the Ascent and what they was going to bring to the table. We got no date. We got nothing. We got no new information. We got nothing. But you can't expect from an indie showcase no big hoopla advertisement presentation. They're not gonna. Why would Microsoft put the money into dudes in their garage? You're getting a stage that you don't have, which kudos go out to PlayStation, who was the first people to put these people on a stage at E3.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so now they're giving you a whole showcase. They're talking to these developers, and sometimes when they describe their games, they're weird. I'm like, well, at least have something written by somebody else that you could sell me this game. They wasn't selling me nothing. But I don't disagree with Rain. But what can you expect from a genre that doesn't have that fun? This ain't, Cuphead was an indie game.
I love Cuphead.
Yeah, but it was backed by big money.
Mm-hmm. It was.
Cups, shirts, advertisement, TV commercial.
A lot.
Same thing with Ori.
But was that through Microsoft, or was that through Microsoft, or was that through the?
I wouldn't say it was Microsoft because it wasn't Microsoft exclusive at the time.
It's not. But
it was back then.
It was back then. Yeah, it was. Yeah.
No. I mean, at the time, yes, it was. But I'm saying, even when we saw the E3, they had a big old thing for Ori in the Blind Forest.
Yeah,
huge. Mm-hmm. I was like, okay, every indie's not going to get that. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? But what I'm saying is you can't expect that from indies when they're working on a very small budget. And, I didn't expect nothing much. I'm not a huge indie player. Yes, I play the major indie titles. Yes, I do. And like Hades and what's the other game, man? It came out on 360 made by Epic, and it was an indie game with the mechs, and it was a side scroller. Shadow Complex.
Okay.
It's an indie game made by a major developer.
Yeah.
So but look, they had that Microsoft finance behind them. Oh, pump this game. It was an excellent game, no doubt. Mm-hmm. What I'm saying is, if you see a whole indie showcase and they talk about over 100 or 200 games, this is exactly what they deserve to get. Couple chicks, one with a terrible camera and one with a good camera, and a couple conversations from developers. I'm telling you, I was shaking my head like, what is this dude even talking about?
Unacceptable, brother.
Right. No. Yeah, but listen, they're not going to pump the money into those games because they have to earn it. They got to earn it.
It was saying that's the thing. He's expecting I get where you're coming from.
And that's the other thing. I'm not expecting that.
But it's not just you. I'm saying a lot of other people in general are expecting that. Like if it's an indie game, it's an indie game for a fucking reason. Matter of fact, what was that other game? What was that game? Axiom Verge, made by one dude for 5 years, and it's just now getting a sequel.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That game was literally made one dude.
I'm not knocking anybody's work because I appreciate any developer out there taking the time and giving you their vision of a game. I respect that. But we can't come out here and, yes, my eyes is bleeding. Yes, no doubt. But we got to expect, we're not talking about, this is not E3. This ain't no Gamescom. This is not no special first party, second party event. This is goddamn indies. So for what it was solid. You got to hear the developer. You've seen a lot of different games, but it was like pulling teeth for me to watch that the whole time. It just was.
All
But
right.
that's not Microsoft's fault. It's just Microsoft ain't gonna pump $1 million into that. They not.
Right. They're just giving people a little bit
They're
of a
giving people
platform.
a platform. That's it.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. All right. Okay. So another opinion. So it's Rain and 108, and you know what I'm saying. So I'm gonna go to you, Slayer. What was your thoughts about the show?
So yo, I also watched.
And
from the
was there
Iron
any
Lord
games that you that you
Oh
looked
yeah,
at?
I got
Okay.
you. I got you.
Okay,
All
all
of
right,
that.
all right, because I mean, everything
Ooh.
I've been hearing from these suckers over here is just about how much they didn't like the
Alright.
show, but they ain't hearing about these
So,
games.
yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That's what I need to know.
They
Okay,
like
I'm gonna spit what I got to
I
say.
said,
I gave you
just said
5
it wasn't
games.
exciting.
You did
I
get the
didn't
5
like
games.
all this.
I'm
I'm
throwing the slander back. I'm throwing the
I
slander
know.
back
Yo.
anyway. Go ahead,
My
Slayer.
response is gonna have 2 parts to it. Okay.
All right,
We got
go
the
ahead.
angel, and then we got somebody else. We'll get to that when the time comes. All right.
Okay.
So yo.
All right.
I also watched the Iron Lords stream, shout out to the Iron Lords, and I flipped over the boom and whatever, but I too was working, so I only saw like the first hour and a half, maybe.
Mm-hmm.
How long was the whole thing? Like 2 hours?
It's 4 hours
I-
long.
I thought it was
4
like
hours.
3. I thought it was
Mine-
like 3 hours and 30 minutes or something like that. But
Okay, 4
maybe it was 4
hours
hours. I don't
later.
know. Was it 4 hours? Okay.
Yeah, well, I saw about an hour and a half, and yo,
Yeah,
there was some cool stuff that I saw game wise, like content wise, like
Facts.
the games that I saw, Exo Mecha.
Mhm.
I think that was right off bat, right?
Yep.
Dope. And Aerial Knights, and then Song
Yes.
of Iron. Yo, they got they little shine there for their moment.
Yeah.
Well deserved. Okay. There's lots of games out there. Dark Alliance. Definitely looking forward to that. The Ascent, it's got that cyberpunk world, dystopian world. I think in that world, like you even pay for air, like it's real dystopian, it's real crazy, and that's looking great. And of course, the disappointment of we didn't get a date. But I think they implied summertime or something. I'm not really sure, but geez, man, I wish we had a date. I really want to play that. Stalker 2, hotness. I can't really think of anything else. So game wise, there was lots of great. Blast Master Zero. I've seen that on other platforms, so that's a dope little title. I really can't think of anything else. So yeah, that's the Angel. So now I'm gonna tap into my inner Joe Buttons here. Yo, the presentation was hot ass sweating.
Thank you.
Garbage, what the hell?
Man.
Yo, and Rain hit the nail on the head. Why did you talk to these no personality having folks at the end? They might be nervous or whatever. It's their first time, and potentially a million people watching them, and they two in their own heads, and they realize that, and they kind of nervous. I get all of that, but wow, put that at the end. We want to see the content. But one more thing on the Angel side, I got to shout out to Microsoft. How a week before this, okay, they made sure to pump the brakes and put out realistic expectations. This was an indie showcase. Not nothing crazy. I also want to shout out to what One Way Dragon said about the marketing money. They didn't put no crazy things into this, and you could see it in the presentation. So back to Joe Budden style, like, yo, what the? Yo, really, my dude, really? You listen. The neck cam, at very first, her cam was good, and then I remember seeing it. I think it just went bad, and it stayed bad. I'm like, oh my god! And they were just talking blah 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 blah. Like Microsoft, you're doing so well. Do you not understand the low attention span that gamers have? What is wrong with you? What the hell? This should have been a momentous occasion, like another feather in their cap, which is quite full right now. But another one, and this should have been a big W. This is a big steaming L, presentation-wise. The titles, everything. I saw so many games I'm interested in. Even if I don't know about the other ones and I may or may not be interested in them, I saw more than enough. So overall, that aspect is a big W. But the presentation, big sweaty steaming L. Like, oh my god. But anyway, man, I can just rant on it because I was just disappointed in that aspect.
Okay. All right. Some more slander I hear. Okay. So what about you, LG? Did you get a chance to check it out?
I didn't get a chance to check out the video wise, but I'm actually was just double checking and looking at the list of games that are coming out. I guess that they have a little bit more of a release date. Some of these games are looking pretty solid, man. Like that Stalker 2 looks pretty.
Yeah, I'm ready for Stalker 2.
man, that I normally don't play games like this, but I just might. It just shows, like, to me, it just shows how. And of course, they got Hello Neighbor 2 coming out. Ugh. I didn't even like the first one. Damn.
It's scary.
It's really a popular game. I don't know.
It is. It is. I've seen like game theories and stuff on it. It's crazy, but like somebody, like, just in general, I'm just like amazed at how far gaming has come from, like, just within the past 10 years, and how just 10 years ago that talking about indie games was considered taboo, and now we got Microsoft actually doing their thing, and just and also I think, let me go back. I think I just saw something here. I saw something about don't quote me. I think it was like, Microsoft was paying like about a certain amount, I think $5 billion in royalties for the developers at ID at Xbox.
Pardon?
They was paying a good amount for their royalties, for the developers' royalties.
Yeah.
And so, I mean, Microsoft is doing the thing. They're pumping out the indies, and I definitely want to give Microsoft their due for it. As far as the presentation and stuff like that, I mean, like I said, these are indie titles. I mean, what are you going to expect to happen? I mean, I'm not even tripping about it.
It's hard for me to run with that excuse, dog. I just can't. You're backed by a big business, at least the presentation at bare minimum with all the technology we got, brother. Like, no, you have better people who are more energetic about the indie scene, who are more energetic about gaming overall. There's a 3-minute video on YouTube that shows all the indie games, and that's all you need to see.
Yep. I mean, that's
just
fine.
Did that, you could have ran everything else in the after. You could have deep with more depth, with more depth. Sit down and talk about this game, talk about that game, and really dive into it in a better way. It's just about presentation.
But there are some people, just because you may not have liked it, there are some people out there that was probably loving the idea of talking with these developers, because guess what? They can't get to fucking Bethesda. They can't get to these other games. They can't get to these other companies. You know what I'm saying? They got to go through some whack-ass community manager. You know what I'm saying? Who ain't even really doing shit. He's just basically the equivalent of a janitor in a high school. You know what I'm saying? So it's kind of a different vibe. And I think once we you got to go in with a different mindset when it comes to stuff like this.
Yeah.
Because when you're thinking indie games, like and 108 Dragon said it earlier, like, these are smaller companies. Now, I like looking at indie games too. Like I said, I played indie games from Hades to fucking. I've looked at Stardew Valley. That's technically an indie game. Terraria was an indie game. You know what I'm saying? And that's one of the games it's been out for like over 10 plus years now. That game is a classic. You know what I'm saying? So. And these games have gone from, you never know, like, because these games have gone from indie classics to cult following, like cult classic. Right. You know what I'm saying? Folks know about these games, so you never know who's out there. But like I said, I do agree to an extent that, yes, the presentation may need to be better. I feel it. But one thing you got to keep in mind is, like, sometimes you got to hold back your expectations.
All right. So let me just go ahead and clear the air here, because it stench of foolishness.
Let me go to my closet and get the world's smallest violin.
You know what I'm saying? Hey, man, while you get in there, go get your feelings, because I'm about to take them right now. Let me just make this point. All right, so, gentlemen, I am not going to hear. I cannot understand how. This is why the Xbox show that would used to come on isn't here no more. It's because of this. It's crying right now. Aaron Green, hold on, no. I'll let y'all speak. Let me spit this, right? Okay, listen. I cannot understand how some people will come out here and expect every damn little show. It's the same thing we just talked about this last week with the whole PlayStation event, and the PlayStation little show that they do. And people are already talking, well, this is going to happen. This is going to. Then they get totally disappointed once that happens. This is indies. This is a showcase for indie games. And it's just like what they said on that show is that, yeah, there's there could be indies that's made by 100 people or just by one. The point of it is it's just a celebration for people who love indies. And what I've heard from most of everybody so far on the panel is that they're not really big into indies like that. So of course it wasn't your bag right off the bat. Right off the bat. So again, hold on.
Like indies. What you talking about?
Yeah. So well, no. And that's another thing too is where I'm just trying to make this point is like they showed 50 games. 50 games. Yeah. So you want to show 50 damn games in 3 minutes, and then you're going to have a whole bunch of other people complaining about something else. Well, why you didn't have enough time to talk to the developers? Why you didn't have enough time to talk to somebody who was making this game that I just seen? Yeah. You know what I'm saying? You can't it is really crazy. Now listen, however you want to think about the ladies, I thought that for what I seen, it was pleasant. You know what I'm saying, visually, and I thought they were really nice. And I thought that you know what I'm saying? And
let me start playing this violin. Here we go with this BS.
No. You could tell that there was nerves. Listen, they put our asses in there and say, hey, we want y'all to do it. You got 500,000 people. You got 1 million people watching you. Your ass is going to be looking a little starstruck.
I'm going to give you that live raw.
Yeah, bro. Nah, fam. You're going to be like, this is rain. I love it. I like it. Oh, damn. I forgot my online. Listen. This is the thing. I thought that the longer that the show went, I thought that they kept getting better. They kept getting more comfortable. Mm-hmm. It was, and again,
I didn't knock them. No, I didn't knock it.
Well, no, I know. I'm just
it's just a lot of different indie games. Some of them stuff you just was like, yeah.
No, I thought there was a lot of good. See, first thing I can't understand. Like, I mean, like Rust is going to be really popular. I'm not interested in Rust, but I know that's going to be popular. There was a game called Omno. It was OMNO. It was where it's a little character. a little character.
She co-signing my bullshit. You see that?
No. Like, I mean, hey, she fits perfect with us. All right, so this is the thing. So she said, "Oh no," but no, like, he was doing little tricks with this wand. He was floating around. I thought that was a cute little game. I thought that was something that I would give a try. I mean, listen, I think Octopath is a cute game. That's what I'm enjoying.
You got 500. You got My Favorite Little Pony.
I got like 700 some games, but I don't have. I mean, but listen,
My Little Pony.
Listen, I thought Second Extinction was really hot. I'm really looking forward to that. Stalker 2, of course, The Ascent. We talked about that. I'm looking at
being down for that.
12 minutes.
I didn't know it was an indie title though.
12 minutes seems really interesting. You know what I'm saying? I'm not. You know what I'm saying? Of course, Ex Machina. That was really hot. I got that. Said Dark Alliance that was brought up. You know what I'm saying? Blaster Master Zero. What? You in a little car and you jumping? I was over here thinking like Master Blaster, but it's Blaster Master.
That raised us. I got Blaster Master on my Switch.
Right,
I got it on my Switch.
Like Art of Rally. That remind me of RC Pro-Am. You know what I'm saying?
You could tell somebody was taking notes and watching the show. Name the first 5.
Oh, it was the best ones. It was the best ones of the show. It was they started off with Machina, then they did the song the one with the Vikings in it, then they did Ascent.
It took Machina too long to come out on Xbox though.
How does it take too long? Listen, okay, hold on. Now we
go. X has been out since launch almost on PlayStation 4.
What'd you say? This game has not been
Machina X?
No.
I have it.
No, this is a different game.
Talking about Exo Mecha.
Yeah, Exo Mecha.
Oh, you said he said Machina X.
Oh, my bad.
But I'm like, I had that for years.
Oh no, if I said that because I had it in my mind because somebody was asking.
Okay.
They was looking at my game. They was looking at my gameplay, and they was
me. I'm like,
they was trying to figure out what game that was, and it was Next Machina. But anyway, but no, but the Exo Machina game.
Gameplay. I got you.
Yeah. But the Exo Machina game, that was like the first, like, oh snap, like they were hot, and so. I thought the show was, but I'm different like that though. I watch gaming shows. The only time that I come with expectations is E3. I don't have any other expectations.
Right.
When until like this is supposed to be the big one. All right, now you're gonna have to show me, and then I determine on that level if I feel like that is up to par. Did it make an impression? Right. But these other little small shows, no, I never care or have a crazy expectation, or I feel that Xbox do or PlayStation or Nintendo or whatever. Listen. I just want to see what games that you have available, and I want to know what games are going to be able to come out this year. That's all I care about when it comes to these other smaller shows. That's why I like the little Xbox event that they used to have. But when you have people that wants to have,
Everything's supposed to be a blockbuster.
yeah,
movie,
blockbuster presentation
yeah,
with the lights and whistles and
right.
dancing girls and shit. I'm like, what are you talking about? Like, what are we doing?
we
talking about indies here.
Okay, Mega, but that's what I said though. It's not a show. I didn't have no expectation. I didn't say it was bad. It's just a lot of stuff I don't care about because I love the indie titles that I own. You know what I'm saying? I have a lot of them. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I know dudes, they live for this 16-bit era. I'm like, dude.
Oh no, I can't stand it. That's what I'm saying.
I can't do too much of that.
Yeah, no. I'm playing Octopath
we was
raised on it. Yeah, I don't want to go.
Right.
I don't want to keep
it's
going back to
game,
that. Yeah.
But I'm not giving you $60 for that.
Right.
Exactly. And it has to be like peak representation
right. It got to be some real good
genre.
stuff.
Right.
And I'm not mad at the show. I think the show, for people who really love indies, the show was not a problem. But we can't get out here like Rain was killing it. I'm just saying you can't expect him to pump no money in there to give smaller developers a limelight. Because let me just break it down to people who haven't been to E3. Right. Let me break this down. You are not seeing these dudes on E3 floors. That's a fact. Everybody could talk all that craziness. Yeah,
not
Sony
there in the basement.
Sony put them on stage. We went to E3. We didn't see none of those games in those buildings. Okay? It took us 2 E3s to see Below in a corner by itself with no label.
Nothing. No label.
Nothing. So I'm telling you, this is not what I didn't discredit the show. What I'm saying is they're not going to put so much money into independent people on their own unless they see something and they're supporting it. Like Ori and the Blind Forest. Like Cuphead. Those are indie games that had a bigger budget and a bigger media following because Microsoft said, like Games of Arcade on 360, we're going to pump this game up because we think it could be successful. Yeah. This is not the situation when you have a whole bunch of indies and they're giving you a showcase. Trust me, none of those developers was upset.
No, and that was my last point before we got to move on is I can remember, look, Xbox was doing this, was supporting the indies by doing Xbox Arcade, right? On the 360.
That's right. They started it.
They started it. So they're just keeping tradition. It's just different because they're giving a spotlight to these games.
Right. And I'm not mad at them for that.
Right. And that's what I'm saying. Like, you can't be mad about it. And of course, I don't understand why would you want Rain was just Rain want Adam Sessler and Morgan Webb and Jack Tretton to be
y'all misunderstand. I know y'all used to these dudes who like to cap for consoles and the camp about random BS. That's not the angle I'm coming from.
Okay.
For me, it's energy. It's the same thing when it comes to these podcasts. If you don't have the energy for it, then you need to get out. Those two ladies, unfortunately, for me, could not carry the show. That is the part of the problem.
Okay.
You do not tip a bad waitress. No, you do not.
Rain says she's not getting a second date.
Okay, but hold on. All right. So, let me answer this question though. Okay, hold on. No. Let me ask you this question though, bro. All right, so for the Xbox show that used to come on, right? Remember how Ricari and old girl was in the very first 2 episodes? I would just say really the very first episode. People were saying the same thing that you were saying. Low energy, they were nervous, they didn't have it, and then by the time it got to that 3rd, 4th, they felt each other like it was.
You talking about the new girl with the side-eye haircut?
We've been doing this Xbox Arcade representing for indies for how long now?
But that was a whole different crew though. So I've never seen these. I didn't. I don't. I've seen the one chick with the glasses before, but I did not see the black girl before. You know what I'm saying? And
I
thought that they both did a decent job for them starting off. Yeah.
My overall point, because I don't want to drive.
Yeah, I know. I got you.
My overall point is just, for me, if you're gonna do, because everybody was like, "Oh, it's a Twitch show," that's why nobody understands. It's the Twitch kind of show. No, if it's supposed to be a show, then you need to make it a show. You have to, it's all about pacing. It's all about presentation. It's how you present the information to the typical consumer. Y'all feel like that because you're gamers. You're in this scene. I'm looking at it from a typical consumer.
I can agree with you. I can agree.
Okay.
I understand.
We'll just we'll let you have the last word on it. We'll let you. I mean, look, I disagree.
The average person that's not doing what we do are not that interested.
Well, no, I know, I got that, but I can
love the
listen.
games
I'm
that they
letting them have the last word on that. I disagree personally, but that's fine. That's what it is, and I'm not tripping about that. That's
what
cool.
makes the show so
That's what makes it right. So anyway, so let's move on to the
we
next.
will not be talking about this tomorrow on Dragon's Den. I had enough.
Oh man,
scratch that.
All right, so let's get on to it. Let's get to some of the biggest news for the week. Which this one right here is probably some of the you're talking about $10 billion plus worth of information. Let's talk about this Discord and Microsoft supposedly acquisition. Listen, it was just dropped last night when I was on Next Podcast that they were in deep discussions, and most likely it was seeming that this could be done within the week unless there was some kind of fallout. But for the most part, these are real serious talks between Discord and Microsoft. So I'm gonna go to you on this one, Slayer, and get your perspective on this. How do you feel about it? First off, for it being, if Microsoft do purchase them, it's going to be plus $10 billion. It's going to be more than what they bought, what they spent for Bethesda. And what it would be the main idea behind Microsoft getting Discord and having and how would they utilize it? That's the question I should be asking.
Well, initially, the first thought I had was, what? Discord? What the? God damn it. Here we go again, man. And then, I've been thinking about it more and more and more. I've totally flipped my mind in opinion. And, speaking of the next podcast, you saw what I said in the chat yesterday.
Right.
But I broke down a lot other things too, and I've had time to think even further since. And bro, this could be a whole platform. Okay? Big time. Yo, check me out. Yo, Microsoft owns GitHub. They have software developer tools. They have teams. They have all these things. You could run a business in Discord. Get paid in Discord. Communicate with your staff on Discord with high quality video, audio, all that. Okay? And so many other things. A lot of people looking at this as a gaming move, and that's primarily motivated as a gaming move, but also because Discord came to them. That's the word going around, right? So a lot of people are assuming the Xbox angle and switching out the chat and the game chat, and maybe Microsoft has said that much, although I didn't see that, but maybe I just missed it. Either way, you got to remember that Discord came to Microsoft first. So it wasn't Microsoft saying, yo, we want to do all this. Hey, Discord is the perfect fit for that. Let's buy them out. That's not how that happened. But I'm not speaking against, the idea that about Xbox or that whole integration, all of that. Yeah, no doubt. But also this being a Microsoft move. In my mind, even more than a purely Xbox move or gaming related move. Gaming is definitely one of the top tiers of what they plan to do with Discord and how they plan to profit from it, clearly. But like I said, with all the other pieces that Microsoft has, and they can combine that with Discord, this could be a major thing. Even right now, we're recording a show, we're all on Discord. Okay, we do the same thing on the Dragon's Den. We use Discord. It works very well. It integrates into everything. All the gaming platforms integrated in it. Yes. And if you don't even have any of the apps, web app, you go to discord.com. Okay? We haven't spoken about the Microsoft browser too much, but I'm particularly interested in one aspect called the PWA. That's a portable web app. You go to youtube.com, you go to twitter.com, you go to facebook.com, and they have what's called web apps, right? And these platforms are web apps. If you go there, Chrome and Edge will offer to quote unquote install the website to your desktop. It's really just an icon that's gonna launch a specific version of a browser with no interface or nothing, because the website has all the interface and it just loads it up full screen and it feels like an app. And you could easily do that even on the Xbox, provided they allowed those installs to show up as their icons, just like all your other apps, or if you have them in a separate group of pins and you call them web apps or whatever. So, and you've seen a lot of people testing. Clown said he tried out Stadia on the Xbox browser, and that's the same thing you can do with Discord. So you don't need no app or no powerful platform. You can be on a Chromebook, and even though you could install Discord on a Chromebook, but if your Chromebook is extra locked down, hell, you go to the website, it's all there. All the functionality is still there. All the video chat, all the audio chat, all of that stuff is still there. It's all in the cloud. It's all in your login already. So Discord is a power play, but to keep it strictly to gaming, like the voice chat quality, the video quality, the way you can you make all your clubs and groups and all these things. If you notice, PlayStation just announced that they're removing that out of the PlayStation dashboard. Now, as a person who beta tested that, I can tell you that really never got any play at all, and that's why Sony's removing it. Right? It didn't work out, and Microsoft did slightly better, but they also have great things like looking for group and other elements like that. But you put that onto Discord, bro. This is a great move for Microsoft, and $10 billion is a small price to pay. Small price to pay. It's a big move in my opinion.
Okay, all right. I think that's a great point. All right, I'm going to go to you, 108. And then I'll go to D next. So what is your thoughts about this? How serious do you think that these talks are? And would you look at this as being a solid grab for Microsoft, or are you still on the fence? Where are you at on this?
Well, I think this is a solid grab. I don't believe those numbers though. I think that $10 billion is way overshot. You can't pay for ZeniMax.
Well,
with all these big titles.
Their numbers were what, 7? There was what, 6 to $8 billion. So they're right there, and so they.
I mean, no, they're right there. I think the number is fabricated, but I think this would be a great deal because first of all, the lead platform to lead Discord was the PC. Okay, they're in bed with them. They have a lot of ex-Microsoft employees that work there. They already have a good relationship. It took a long time for the Microsoft Store to get a decent YouTube app. But as soon as Discord dropped, it was right in the Microsoft Store ready to download. They have a great relationship already, sort of like Bethesda, because of the relationships and the past employees and stuff. Discord was horrible 3 years ago. Absolutely horrendous. Right now, I use it on my podcast. We're using it on this podcast. Google Meet quality doesn't stack up to them with their visuals.
I agree 100% with
They tried to go game-wise. That didn't work out for Discord. But as a community chat, it took over TeamSpeak on PC, obliterated it. I mean, obliterated it. You can make your own rooms and all this stuff. It would definitely be an addition to a Microsoft platform to be like added to Game Pass, added to the Xbox dashboard. You definitely can stream your games through it. So even those people who stream their games through it, Twitch is the biggest platform, but Twitch has the worst quality.
Facts.
We all know Mixer was destroying them. If they didn't have the personal issues going on in-house before Microsoft even bought them, they had that. They could have really challenged Twitch. But it's self-destructed. Microsoft said, we out. We don't want to inherit this. So
I miss Mixer so much, man. God.
I miss it so badly.
Yeah. Mixer's quality was unrivaled. They started that the low latency servers. They started that. You still, if you have to be a partner to co-stream with Discord, they would be right back in that circle and have a great ecosystem. Right now, like I said, I use it on my podcast because I have an excellent camera. My thing is about being on camera on my podcast, and the voice quality is good. The visual quality now is excellent. I was so against Discord until I started my podcast, and then I started testing out different media, formats to say what I wanted to use. Google Meet, and all this other stuff, man. Zoom, Skype, which Microsoft owns, and he ain't really doing nothing with that platform. But Discord is definitely not what it was 3 years ago. This would be a bonus to their service, and it would add another streaming option to rival Twitch with a Microsoft touch. You know what I'm saying? So I think it would be good. Do I think they should spend $10 billion? I don't know, but they got money to burn. So they figure if they could throw it in the ecosystem, it would work on both platforms that they support. I don't count Game Pass as a separate platform than Xbox because it's all Xbox. So it would support the console and the PC side, which is hugely way more supported on the PC side than anything else. You know what I'm saying? So, and with the apps out, you could, go from your phone, and it's just an excellent situation. So hopefully these rumors are true. And like I always say, it would definitely push Sony in a direction where you're gonna have to start making a choice. Like, you got to give gamers the same type of services on your PlayStation platform to compete, because this generation starting just with the news that Microsoft has been doing. And I'm a PlayStation 5 owner. It's a situation where competition is good, but right now this generation, Sony hasn't said anything to be. Evo is not it. You got to do better than that. Buying, what was that? Crackle? What was
Yeah.
that? Yeah.
Was it Crackle or Crunchyroll?
Crunchyroll. There you go.
Crunchyroll.
Yeah, Crunchyroll. So with those two announcements,
and they invested and they bought Billy too, which that's a whole another realm of anime.
Right. So you got like ZeniMax deal. Now Discord is in a rumored situation. Microsoft looks like they're aiming in a direction where the consumers are at the top of the food chain. You know what I'm saying? So, and I always want, Microsoft, Sony did what they did last gen. They pushed Microsoft to be this beast. So they coming out the closet swinging. Now it's like, okay, as a PlayStation owner, I'm saying, so what the hell you going to do for me on this platform? You just can't keep doing what you doing because Crunchyroll ain't doing it for me. Evo definitely ain't doing it for me. You know what I'm saying? Like, I watch Evo 1 second out my life. So, competition is good. I hope the deal is true with Discord, because the way I know Microsoft took a big loss with a Mixer, and being at E3, we saw the money they threw in Mixer. They had a whole in between the main LA Convention Center and the Microsoft theater. They had a huge section, special dome. You went in there. They had special. I still got my cups, shirts, and bags and trinkets. And they had the Gears of War tournament in there. Listen, they put a lot of money into Mixer. So I think they felt burnt. So the rumors, I feel, could be true because they want something to replace that situation. So I think it will work, and I think it will be excellent because they're already invested in themselves 3 years, and the quality is great.
Okay.
Chatting everything, man. Chatting everything.
All right, great points. All right, before I'll go to D, I'm finna read the super chat because as our boy Xbot would say, the super chat works. You said Hanosis, thank you so much. He says great show. He says ID at Xbox Showcase motivated me to buy enlisted early access. Gives me nostalgia to early COD games. Yeah, enlisted did have that old school like World War II, World War III COD feel. I don't know. I don't know if I'm in that genre, but yeah, no, I did see that game too. It wasn't.
I don't want to shoot no more guns that give you splinters.
Right. So anyway,
yeah, I'm tired of World War II.
Yeah, I am too. And then the rumor about this other COD going back to World War II, I don't know. That's another discussion
Good luck
maybe
with
for
that.
next week.
Bruh,
But
I'm tired of that.
yeah, but
Yeah, I'm tired. It'll beat the hell out of that.
We'll talk about that next week. But D, what is your thoughts about the whole Discord Microsoft situation?
not to pocket watch. I'm like, y'all just throwing out billions like this. Like,
She said she watching them
business is
dollars.
good.
You heard that
Like,
song?
okay.
Fuck with me, you know I got it.
I mean,
Right?
Oh, man.
I just find it so interesting because them buying Bethesda for $7 billion was, to me, such a huge flex. Not everybody messes with Bethesda, you know, and that's okay. Not everything is for everybody. But to buy the parent studio of so many IPs was just like, okay, he got money. Okay, you just throwing that out here. Okay.
Did you hear how she said it? She's like, "Oh, we got
He's
money."
like, okay, I got money.
Yeah, that's when you start powdering,
She's like,
start
Look,
powdering,
look
get
like-
your makeup
yeah,
and
look
eyelids
like
right.
she was
Yeah,
over here.
Bobby next.
She
Bobby
she
next.
was twirling her hair with her finger
Bobby.
right there.
It's like when the big brother buy it, you got a little brother.
Like, right, like Bill Gates, you can adopt me, sir. Like, I'm gonna put you at home. It's fine. It was just a lot of money, and it was just like, okay, y'all doing big things. And you know, first off, shout out to Don Matrix for screwing up the Xbox One 3.
Facts.
Because if Don Matrix hadn't screwed it over and then shat on people like, hey, if you ain't got internet, fuck you, get a 360, Microsoft would not be backpedaling and trying to get my good graces. They're like a step parent of gaming. They married your parent, and now they're like, hey, y'all, you want to take my car for the weekend? Here you go. Here's the keys. You want some money? Y'all want to go to the arcade? Here's a $20 bill. That's fine.
You want to go camping?
Right.
I'll bring
Bring
my
your friends.
fellows.
You want some alcohol? I got that. I got everything. It's like, okay, okay, I like mom's house. Okay, Dan, whatever. Like, it's cool. Like, it's just, they're doing so much, and at the end of the day, the consumers win. Like, I'll take it. Like, I like you giving me all this choice. I like that you're doing everything to be consumer friendly because, you know, I win. And I I had somebody on my Twitter that was like, yeah, they're really stupid. You know, Microsoft was really stupid for putting their shit on Game Pass. I was like, how is it stupid? And they're like, I mean, it's dumb because they're giving it to me for free. I'm like, okay, I guess I like stupid things because it's not costing me anything additional. You know, like, I don't
And if you want to buy it, you can buy it.
And if you want to buy it, you can buy it, because I forgot what game it was, but we were talking about EA, and they were just like, yeah, EA is not dumb like Microsoft. They're not going to put it on Game Pass. They're going to make you pay for it. I'm like, you're cool with that? Like, what's the logic? And then at the end of the conversation, like, yeah, I like it. It's Game Pass. I'll play it. I'm like, so what was the...
Some people can't think outside the box, sister. It's like they not businessmen, but they pretend to talk like they want.
Right. I'm just like, you know, so them doing Discord, to get back to the point, I didn't see... First, $10 billion sounds inflated to me. I don't see how you can buy ZeniMax for $7 and then $10 billion for Discord.
Right.
I don't see how they're equal enough, and Discord is more. But then again, I don't know all the ins and outs of Discord. That being said, it's kind of like, you know, this is only 2021 and, you know, a part of 2020. I'm just sitting here with my popcorn like, you know, what is next? Because me and my homie, shout out to Yannick, are like, who are they buying next? Are they buying EA next? Are they buying Ubisoft? Like, who is next? Because I never in a million years was like, they gonna buy Bethesda. Like, I never would have thought that. So it's just like, okay, Discord is cute. I use it. You know, is your next acquisition gonna be 20 billion? Like, the number keeps going up. How? Not the pocket watch, but what's the limit? Like,
they have $47 billion to spend.
Hey,
after the ZeniMax deal.
As my boy Sam Presti from the Oklahoma Thunder, the GM of the Oklahoma City Thunder, would say, "Scared money don't make no money." So
that's a New York saying. Welcome to New York, baby.
No, that was the Tribe Called Quest. That was from the song Tribe Called Quest, but that's where he got it from. But he's the one that said it that made it popular.
And where's Tribe Called Quest from? New York.
Okay, but you from Brooklyn though? What are they from Brooklyn? Are they from Brooklyn? Are they from Brooklyn?
Yes, they are.
Are they from Brooklyn?
Yeah.
All of them?
Two of them.
Okay. Anyway, like I said, Sam Presti. Scared money don't make no money. Okay, see Thunder, baby. Go ahead. Anyway.
Yeah, that's a New York saying. They just happen to be rappers. They said it on record. Okay.
Okay.
They didn't make it up though.
I mean,
oh man.
I don't pretend to know all the ins and outs, but as a lay person, it's just a lot of money. I don't think they're going to stop, which works out for me because, you know, they're doing things to kind of make their consumers happy, which to their credit, that's why the Xbox Live increase happened for like 12 hours. And they were like, ooh, let's pull this shit back. I don't
It's
like
still worth
this.
it. It still would have been worth it.
And I mean, I understand the retail price might be a big ask, but me personally, I'm not paying full price for nothing. I'm doing something to get money off anyway. So I was just like, y'all can do that if you want to, but
Game Pass spoiled.
Well,
but
I
mean, we all are. I mean,
You sound like my
come
man
on,
King David. It's not in Game Pass. I ain't with it. Though.
well, it's not just that, but if anybody follows my Twitter or looks at it, every time there is a deal on something, I'm like, y'all jump on this. Like, stack up your shit until Black Friday, pay $20. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you really trying to save money, no shade, there are ways to save money. The reward system, the Game Pass quest, people out here, I don't know if y'all on Reddit, people getting Series X's for free from the rewards program. People are getting Game Pass
Jamie
Ultimate
Moran got his, he got his Series X for free off of his reward points, yeah.
That's dedication. But the point is, if you want it, it's out there. So I understand it's a big ask, but that happened for one day. By the time I got home from work, I'm like, the price going up. Oh, they reversed it. Oh, okay.
I remember that. I remember being the one that announced that. Yeah, it was crazy.
It was over. And it was just like, okay, that's not, but it's just, they're doing a lot and they're going hard in the paint. And, Phil Spencer, say what you want, but Don Matrix kind of set the ball rolling. And then he dipped like 2 seconds after. But
he got fired from 2 jobs in 2 months.
But he got that paper to go off in the woods and just be, you know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, he got that bag. Yeah, he got that bag. He was all right.
About it.
Nope, not allowed. Not allowed.
Not allowed.
All right.
Take this bag.
But the reason I said the price was good because I feel a lot of people. Anyway, is because. Like Microsoft is always the one to overpay. Like if they buy a corporation, it's like double or like 50% more, some high ass price. So $10 billion is not so bad.
And a 650 credit score, they're gonna look at that 800 and be like, "Oh, this car worth 50,000." They're gonna look at that 650 dude saying, "Listen, man, you gonna have to give us a bigger down payment, and we'll work something out."
I was about to go to a whole other lane. Like, hold up, wait, let me stay on point.
Right, and I think that also for before we go ahead and go to PK on this, well, no, I want PK to go last on this because I'm pretty sure he might have a lot to say on this. So I'll go to Rain next, but I will say this is that I think where Predator is making a great point too is that he's saying he said Microsoft bought ZeniMax with the money they saved by closing Mixer and their brick and mortar stores, which that was a point that we did talk about as well. I didn't even really think about that. So like, listen, they have so much. That's why it's funny why people try to pocket watch.
They're mutually exclusive.
Yeah,
the brick and mortar stores is Microsoft. Xbox is its own division with its own budget. Has nothing to do with each other.
Well, okay. Well, hold on. Wait a minute. Now, this is where I think where you're a little off on that is because remember when Xbox had their own budget last gen. And then because Microsoft was saying, look, the checkbook is closed. We seen how Xbox performed when it came to coming out with those
you also
IPs. But now you're seeing when they got they're making money. They're making crazy money. But what I'm saying
it's not about the money. It specifically points out Xbox division budget has nothing to do. All I'm saying is always separate. Any corporation, every budget has its own money. Period. It's always separated for that reason.
Right. Okay. So you're basically telling me though what Phil said in the interview by going to the CEO of Microsoft and saying, look, if we're going to be all in, we're going to be all in. So that means that they had to get that budget to be bigger than whatever the budget was at that particular time when Phil came to them. I mean, it's still Microsoft got the ultimate say so to everything though.
But like I said,
yes, the parent company is Microsoft, but what Phil did, hold on, PK. What he did was he pitched a situation, whether it was do or die, right?
Right.
He talked the gaming service. He talked about unifying PC and console cross-platforming.
Right.
He talked about something else.
I guess Game Pass was also
no. That's what I'm talking about. I said that That was my second thing I said.
Yeah.
But he added with the and he combined PC game Xbox Live, which turns into Game Pass now.
The thing
Right.
is,
Because remember,
gotta
if you got
understand.
game,
But
this
they
is
had to
what
get
he
a
did.
bigger. But overall, they had to get a bigger budget.
Yes.
I think me and
And he
PK is
rolled- he
basically saying the
rolled the
same
dice.
thing, but it's just
Right.
Yeah.
He rolled the dice, and now remember when he rolled the dice, he was head of Xbox.
right,
Now he's a board member.
right.
He's a different beast.
So what I'm saying is that adding on to it is they're mutually exclusive.
Mhm.
Satya is the man in Microsoft right now. He's
Right.
all about cloud, all about pushing, don't care where you play. I mean, look at 365. You can have that on the Mac. Whoever would have seen that coming, right? The point is, it's up his alley. Of course, he's with it. He's with anything to put subscription services on as many devices as possible. But all I'm saying is that the brick and mortar stores closed. It started because of the pandemic, and they're mutually exclusive from Xbox's purse. That purse is being controlled by their CFO, not by Microsoft as a company.
Okay. All right.
People, well, hold on. Let me say one thing before we move on. There's one point that people don't pay attention how Microsoft really unified the market. You know, Microsoft connected to the internet, which everything is connected to the internet. 97% of the PCs in the world are Windows. 2% is Apple, and everything else is Linux, right? You know, with that number being said, no matter what Apple makes, you know, the last 7 to 8 years, Apple computers can accept Windows operating systems. Once they saw that they could venture out into another ecosystem and benefit, you know, Phil had to go like, maybe we could do this with gaming. He had to, because they made so much money being an alternative on an Apple product that it can install Windows. They had to look at that because they generated so much more money on the competition. Now, I don't care what nobody say. Game Pass is never going PlayStation. Never.
No, Sony won't let that happen.
Sony won't let it. It'll destroy it.
Yeah. Sony know better. Yeah.
Right. Sony's like, nah, you can't have that over here. But that's why when you hear people go, oh, Microsoft want Game Pass on something, yeah, they would love it. Because now we're beating you on your platform. That's a fact. But Sony's like, nah, dude, we're not having that. You know what I'm saying?
What's the purpose of that platform?
Right. They would be
what's the point?
destroyed. But TVs are not competition for consoles. Cell phones are not competition for consoles. What it is, it's a great addition to your services.
Facts.
Because if your TV and you got an Xbox console or a cell phone, like I was streaming today, I put that out. I was playing Octopath Traveler and watching the showcase. But your subscription go across any platform that has the app. So it doesn't mean everybody's going to just get a Samsung TV or LG TV. Oh, I'm just going to buy this and just play this, which Microsoft don't care. But you be able to use your email, your password across everything, no matter where the app is at. That's a bonus. But anyway, I'm sorry. Just wanted to point that out.
Right. All right. So go. So go ahead and say what you was going to give your points, Rain. What do you think about this?
I mean, pretty much. I mean, everybody pretty much hit the nail on the head. I mean, I've kind of been talking about it in the background. As far as I think this whole play is for them to rebuild their whole entire party system that they have built in them with Xbox Live right now. I think they're going to use Discord. Well, they're wanting to use Discord to make sure that the platform is exactly what it needs to be in being cross-platform. Discord, as of now, is available on everything. You know what I mean? Whereas, like with Xbox Live, I know people have been complaining about how the game bar on PC isn't all that great. How people would rather use Discord, and I can understand that. And overall, I mean, I agree with Dragon too. Like 4 years ago, Discord wasn't doing all that great. But here lately, it seems like it gives you so much options, so much quality, so many opportunities to even just to kind of build your own community for, even if it's a specific game. And I feel like that's what Xbox is looking for, what Microsoft is looking for. Because again, I mean, they can use it for their teams. Like, there's just so many uses that Discord could be for them. I'm thinking that's probably why they're looking to spend that 10 billion on them. Because apparently Discord by itself is only worth 4. You want to pay double just to look good, so that's 8, and they're trying to spend 10, maybe more. And now they're in exclusive talks supposedly, so it seems like it could be something on the back end of things that could be extremely beneficial, especially with everything going cross platform, being able to take your Xbox service anywhere. I think it's part of that whole play and just making things more universal. So, I mean, that's really all I got to say on that. Everybody else has been hitting it out the park.
Yeah, they have. So, but yeah, but I think PK has some more information that maybe you want to add. And then
Nice.
LG, if you got something that you wanted to add after PK, then please do. But what about you, PK? Now, I mean, what do you think, man? Good idea?
So I just want to give a little background here.
Mm-hmm.
Um, the whole idea of building Discord is to sell. And I mean, this ain't the first time they've been in talks to sell. They was in talks with Warner Media
Mm-hmm.
before they got bought by AT&T.
Ooh.
So this is nothing new. They always wanted to sell. That's the whole point. Build a brand and sell it. Wouldn't you?
Yeah, somebody
Wouldn't
offered.
anybody?
Yeah, yeah. Microsoft comes and says, "Hey, man, we want to buy it." Ah,
I also want to point out I disagree with 108 Dragon's assessment of Discord because old man takes a while to get caught up on things. I've
disrespect.
been using Discord since 2016. I'm gonna tell you, it turned around when they added voice, and I would say 2017, late 2017, 2018 is when it really started to shine, and that's when it really took off. But I have been using it forever because playing on Nintendo games and trying to chat just was non-existent. So we had to have some sort of way around that. Um, but I would say this is nothing new. Far as them wanting to sell, I mean, that's the point. Far as Microsoft, what I want to do is I want to tell the viewers, tell you guys, there is a s- there is a difference between Microsoft as a parent company and Xbox as a brand.
Mhm.
They work on two different things. Teams is their business application. It has its own stack and it won't integrate with Xbox's stack. That's why they don't use it. They need something for their own stack. This is why they're looking forward to this. This is not the first time Microsoft has been in talks to purchase a social media company. I mean, it was just last year they were in talks with buying half of TikTok for 30 billion, and
I
everyone's
forgot
talking
about
about
that.
10 billion is a lot. That's not a lot. They just bought a social media company called LinkedIn for 50 billion. So what's 10 billion? That's a drop in the park. But that, again, that's Microsoft as a parent company buying LinkedIn, right? Xbox division is looking at Discord to incorporate their stack into their gaming platform, which is completely separate than you know, uh, what Teams and Skype stacks are. They're completely different, and they're not intertwined. I agree. The though the Xbox chat system is still superior to any other of the platforms, or as console platforms chat systems are, this one is the most open. But it's also similar to using Slack. If you guys are familiar, Slack uses the exact same build. Not the same, not developed by the same people, but they're very, very similar. The way the the channels and the servers are structured, they're all very similar. The one thing I think is, and I made a video about it, I think it would be a good fit for Microsoft since they're still hungry for a social media platform for their gaming division. Problem I have is currently just like Slack, neither Skype or Slack have any log retention in your chats. If Microsoft takes over, there will be. And that's a security problem in my eyes. But that's just me and me griping. But far as a good fit, yes. I think it will be. It'll be a great fit because I don't know if you guys know, but Skype has 140 million active monthly subscribers, or after users rather. And Twitter only has 190 million monthly active users. So think of how close that is.
Mm.
Now, when you think about those numbers, how much reach does Game Pass have if they obtain Discord? That means they can use the platform to push Xbox Game Pass and do more. They're going to, they already started back 2 years ago integrating Xbox Live into Discord. It's only going to keep going and integrate even more. Platform exclusivity, they don't care. Like I said, it's all about being able to push those services. So they will continue to have the same connections, but be able to reach more players. And at the end of the day, that was always the goal. So think about if they get 140 million Game Pass subscribers out of this deal a month. That's what they're looking at. That's and that's the Xbox view, not really Microsoft's view. But again, Satya is all about it. I don't know if you know who Satya is, but he's the current CEO of Microsoft, and
Right.
he is the man when it comes to multi-platform, being able to give everyone the ability to access their stuff no matter where they're at.
Yeah, he was the former Nokia CEO, was he? Was he not?
So, um, yeah, so
No.
he's a I would say one of the visionaries since a long time, right?
Yeah,
That
he
that
got it. He was the one
Microsoft,
that got it off the ground, but then what people
yeah.
punish him for is what happened towards the end of what Nokia,
But
from what I
he's
said.
brilliant though.
Right,
You know,
right,
he
right.
set Microsoft as a company in a different direction, which put them
Mm-hmm.
in a better light. You know, they're a software company at the end of the day, and Xbox is an extension of their brands, and be able to get not just so there's two things here, and I'm gonna bring this up. Does anybody have uh one reason why Sony would purchase half of Evo?
I would say
Nah.
I would say for maybe for publicity. I'm well
Right,
for the publicity
for the
aspect of it,
marketing.
marketing
Yeah,
aspect of it. Yeah, because it is a huge draw.
it is a
And
huge draw.
then and that would be really good for when they show on their fighters, for like when they do those those commercials in between, they could show a PlayStation exclusive
Right,
or something like that that
right.
could be
So
dropping, a
think
game dropping.
about what Discord can do for for Xbox.
Absolutely.
Do you see what
Oh
I'm
yeah,
getting
no,
at
I
here?
see it. No,
Um,
yeah, I do.
so
I do.
marketing is huge. That's where the money is.
Hmm.
Where you can, when you already have a draw, because everybody, I will say everybody, but most people that not just gamers, it's not just a gamers thing, right? Like GitHub wasn't just for developers. It is really a platform used by a lot of people for different reasons, and this is why it's important. And I know GitHub might not sound like a big deal to you guys, but it is a big deal for Microsoft to purchase them and now, looking to buy uh, Discord. Now, 10 billion sounds like a lot, but I'm telling you now, Discord was to go public, which I've been waiting for years because I knew they were going to skyrocket out of control. I mean, look what happened to Roblox. And who would knew that they would come out and be valued 45 billion with just one game? Discord will be valued at the very least, if they went public, 20 billion at the very least. So why wouldn't Microsoft go ahead and push to get that 10 billion out the way? Save them some money. Because if they go public, it's going to be rough. The other side of this is if Discord wants to be bought, which it looks like it, since I said they went to Warner Media before they got bought by AT&T. Who would you rather them be with? Who would you rather them get acquired by? Amazon, Google, or Microsoft?
Right. Like, I mean, I'm reading people in the chat, and this is for everybody out here before we move on to the next topic. I see people that's stating that, well, Microsoft, they've made mistakes with Skype, and they've made mistakes with their phones, and with other products that they've had, like the mixer failed and other things like that. What do you say to those people out there that
But
will hold on to
they
those old tropes to try
well,
to say that Microsoft might do the same thing with this
so first of all,
if they acquire them?
they didn't do anything with Skype. They just purchased them.
Right.
And let's not talk about hardware because again, they're a software company. That's what they're good at, right? It's gonna come a time where you're not even gonna be able to buy Windows anymore. It's just gonna be a subscription.
Hmm.
Yeah.
I'm just telling you, they're going to focus on what they're good at. And far as all those old things, those hardware items, you know what's working? The Surface. You know what's not going anywhere? Xbox.
Xbox, yeah.
Okay? So when it comes to hardware, they're sticking to what they can do good and leaving the rest to the other people. But putting their software on those platforms, such as Mac, such as Android. Yes, you can get Office on those platforms, which is unheard of. If during those years Zoom was out and Skype was first bought, that Microsoft at that time would never put their products on the competitor's platform. Look where we at now. Look at where Game Pass is trying to be. So comparing what Microsoft's moves used to be, look at what they're doing now. It is not, we can't judge the past because in the past, Apple was fighting against the man called the PC. And now they are the man. And now they are restricting content and charging people bukus of money just to have it on their platform, right?
Nuts. Facts.
That's a fair
So
point.
things have changed, and you got to adapt to what's going on, or you fade away. Point is, I think Microsoft learned a lot from a lot of mistakes. I'm not sure if Google has, but I know Amazon isn't about isn't about trying to take a L. They trying to push, no matter how hard it is. They trying to push. So, who do you rather have Discord be acquired by? And I'll even expand it past the big three. I had a talk with Jez, and uh, I don't know if anybody knows this, but Nintendo has $40 billion sitting in the bank.
Oh yeah, no, Nintendo. When people think that
Capital.
Nintendo is struggling, Nintendo makes has bread. Like, I
Well,
mean,
the
they
reason
they
why is
sustain.
because they just don't spend money on stuff.
Right.
But I'm just saying, like, there's companies out there that could make a move if they knew it would bring value to their brand, and would not if all else aside, not wanted to go to a brand that would uh, charge you a bunch of money to use. I mean, let's face it, Discord was not the Discord today. If you guys want to bring up old stuff, I'll tell you, I was the first person on Discord. Who was even
Is he
called me
bugging out? Is he bugging out for you too, or is it just?
Yeah.
Oh, okay,
Yes, slightly for me.
you was
Yeah,
bugging
yeah.
out a little bit, PK.
I'm sorry, I apologize. So Twitch wasn't the same Twitch as it is today, right? It was much different.
You're
Matter
still
of
you're
fact,
still you're still bugging out, brother.
it wasn't even called Twitch when it first came out.
Okay,
Oh yeah, it was
Uh,
called Justin TV.
yeah, it was called Justin TV,
there you
and
go.
I was one of the first people on there because that was the way to watch certain cartoons and stuff that you couldn't watch anywhere else. And but anyways, but here we are now. It's different. Now it's monetized. It's got all these different things going on they never had before because it's owned by Amazon. And
Okay.
again, Amazon is a behemoth that No, I know 100 don't agree. I mean, 108 don't agree with me, but it is something to be watching out for. They are not in this business to take an L. They're just not.
Right. No, I totally agree with that. I don't know why you people be sleep. I know, because I mean, we've heard the same things about Google, and yeah, it did happen with Stadia, but they have just as much money, if not more money, than Microsoft. That they could jump back and do something else if they get a wild hair. So, yeah, they're always dangerous. And then of course we don't forget about Tencent. Tencent is not as it doesn't have as
I,
much money,
I
but
was gonna bring.
they're
No, no, they
serious
have
too.
the money.
Yeah.
They have the bread. And guess what? Guess who helped start it? Discord. Tencent.
Really? Now, see that they didn't know that.
So yes, they can easily creep up and say, yeah. You know what I mean? So
Right.
you where do you really want this to be at?
Right.
So I mean that's
I know
all I
you're
got
gonna
to say.
stop
But it's just
slandering my name, light skin.
Oh,
I didn't say I didn't disagree with you. I
it's
do agree
okay.
with you. They are a threat. Hold on. I said Google's a threat. The way you're going about gaming is not a threat.
Well, for right now,
That's
I
what
mean,
I said.
yeah.
Right.
Yeah,
We got to go
these
by what
things
they're
take.
doing now. We
Yeah,
can't
yeah.
anticipate they're going to make some miraculous change because you could buy all the groups you want.
All
It's
I'm
the pay
saying is
scale.
all I'm saying is when Amazon bought Twitch, that was out of nowhere. Nobody seen that coming.
No, they didn't.
Yeah, Twitch don't make games either.
All right. Well, let's go. Let's get ready to move on. I do want to say this though. It kind of people alluded to it a little bit, but I think it's kind of like basically is that they want to make this huge infrastructure. And that's the one reason why they want to change the name from Xbox Live to Xbox Network to where they can actually have the capacity to be unison with PC and Xbox. And I think and then that and Xbox will have all these other entities and things like that. So instead of just calling it Xbox Live, it's a network. It's a network of just different things. And if they add Discord to that, then that's just an enhancement to all the rest of the things that Xbox is doing, especially with XCloud, etc. So it's very interesting. We'll definitely find more out. But yeah, I also said this too last night is that I think Xbox is really trying to keep away some of the people out there that want to get their hands in the cookie jar like Tencent and Amazon and Google as well, because they know if all they need is just that one app, that one IP, that one something to get them to catapult them. I understand that there's people that think that there's only one, that you can't have um, another company to come into gaming, but the way that it's moving and how things are moving so fast, there's going to be so many changes happening. We don't know what's going to be happening in the next 5 years because it's rapid how everything is moving right now. So anyway, all right. So okay. So for the last topic, which one y'all guys want to talk about? The Halo Infinite news and leaks, or do you want to talk about the situation with the PlayStation 3 and Vita and all that?
KMEGA, nobody cares.
So sad.
Absolutely nobody cares about PlayStation and Vita. They didn't support Vita when it's out, and PlayStation been dead for over 15 years.
Okay, so
Thank you.
Yikes.
Thank you. I D, what did you want to talk about?
it's just funny because you were like, "What do you want to talk about?" You said PlayStation, and I was just like, "I'm really sad about it." He was like, "Nobody cares." Like,
Right, yeah. See that he likes to try to talk for everybody, but go ahead, make your point about the PlayStation.
So I'm disappointed but not surprised about what's going on with PlayStation. Simply because over time, I don't have the PS3 anymore. I got rid of it. But the PSP and the Vita, I don't know if you guys follow anybody that is like in those communities. It's a very strong community. And the Vita was almost dead in the water, which makes no sense to me because they did so much innovation with it. But to me, it's just another thing where they're just like, nobody cares about this. We're going to go ahead and just kill it and just dead it. And it's just like, I'm not in, the company to say, what do you guys like, what do you not like? But just as a layperson from the outside looking, it's just like, where did you get the feedback that's like, nah, we don't want this. I own a Vita, but I don't want this shit anymore. Because it just seems like there's such a strong presence. PSP makes sense. The PSP has been out since I was in high school. So that one makes sense. but the Vita is not even 10 years old, and the PSP was supported for so very, very long. And it sucks because with the Vita specifically, I don't know if I'm the only one that has one or has had one, but Sony screwed themselves because not only was the platform not really supported, they made the memory cards expensive because there are so many games that I'm now sitting here like, okay, what games do I want to get before the store closes because I can't find the chips because it's a Vita. And if I want to buy these games digitally, it's going to be a pain in the ass because, a 16 gig card for the Vita is like $80. And
Well,
it's just
not to
like,
mention, you can't play a game without the memory card, and it
Right.
didn't come with
right.
one.
And it didn't come with one. And it's just like I'm like, how do you go from the PSP to the Vita? Like, y'all out here packaging the Vita with AT&T for data with your memory card is $80, $100. I don't know. It just sucks, and it's one of those prime examples where I'm kind of glad that I'm not only in one ecosystem, because there are some games that I'm like, okay, you guys have it on PlayStation Now. You guys had the PlayStation 1 program on the Vita where you can play Tomb Raider, all those games on PlayStation portables, and now that's being cut off. And it just sucks because those games are being lost forever. Because the next step to that is heading to eBay, trying to get a PS3, trying to get,
Right.
if you want it, because you can't get them anymore. And it's just really ironic to me because Sony, and I started the conversation earlier, Sony was kind of the first ones to do backwards compatibility. And then they saw the money that could be made from it, and then they cut it off. And then they were just like, screw y'all don't want this shit anyway. And I don't understand how you go from one of the first companies to do backwards compatibility with the PS2, playing almost all the PS1 games, to the PS3 playing all the PS2 games. Then you made a different model to no longer do that, and the price of the backwards compatible one shot up. And now we're 2 generations earlier. Yes, you have the PS5 that can play majority of PS4, but it's like every generation there's less and less preservation and the prices are going to shoot up. And it just sucks because there's just a lot of things that it could have been done differently, but people that seem to be fans don't mind it, but
Okay.
it's just one of those
Can I
things.
go next, please?
Well, no, because I just want to say this, because I mean, I want to get the Halo in, and I don't think everybody's going to just really talk about the whole PlayStation thing. I just want to add this part though to it to get her view on this. So now with PlayStation doing this, would it be smart now to invest into the PlayStation 5 digital? You know what I'm saying? Knowing that maybe in 15 years that if you buy all those games digital and they shut off and they shut the store down, and then of course
I'm gonna kill
the
both of y'all.
eternal clock and all that and all this. I mean, I'm
Oh,
just
boy,
saying.
I'm gonna kill
I'm just
y'all.
asking. I'm just asking. I mean, is would you invest now into the all digital PS5, knowing what they did with the PS3?
I mean, me personally, I kind of expect Sony to do this going forward. So I would go in with the expectation anything I buy on the PlayStation brand at some point is no longer going to be accessible. That's just me personally. I'm not saying everybody should have that mindset, but given the track history of Sony and how they handle older devices and storefronts, that's the expectation I would go into it. But again, that's just me. With everything going digital, or not everything, but a lot of things going digital now.
Most of everything is digital.
Going digital, and we're seeing such deep sales, not just on Steam anymore. You can get some good games for some chump change. It's pushing everything digitally, and it's just like, okay, physical is great, but what does that mean going forward if I can barely play things generation to generation? Which is why it's just mind-baffling to me how I feel like there's a little bit of hypocrisy. I'm gonna just get my soapbox real quick with Xbox, because I feel like if Xbox shut down the 360 store, I feel like we wouldn't hear the end of it.
Right.
Like, I know we play this, we're doing this and the third, but PlayStation is like, I don't even have my PS3. It's fine. I'm like, right,
The
but
evil empire did it.
Y'all the same ones that are crying for a Red Dead remaster. But you can play Red Dead now on Xbox. You can play Grand Theft 4 right now on Xbox because they had the game preservation.
Facts.
So it's just like, okay, y'all the ones that are begging to pay for a remaster because Sony doesn't want to give you compatibility. And they said they can't. But it's the same company that's giving you PS2 games on PS4 at a price. So they're letting you know they can emulate their own systems.
Well, no, that's not an emulation. It's a streaming service. It's not emulation.
I was about to say that. Yeah,
Wait. I'm talking about the PS2 or PS4 program.
That was emulation. That's why you can't
emulation.
Yes. No, that's not emulation. That's a streaming service. It's like,
how is it?
Okay, I'm explaining to you how it works. What they couldn't do is they couldn't get the PS2 hardware to work because remember, from generation to generation, they made multiple different PCs. PlayStation 1, 2, and 3 was completely different. The first time they hit x86 and made it a general situation was PS4. They always built their own chips. You remember the whole cell processor, and I forgot what the other two was meant. They all was different, so they really couldn't get it to get right. But when you stream it, it's not emulation. It's like mimicking the controller through that system to control those games. It's not an emulation. That's why you can't download like you see like the Xbox platform. Everything we download on Xbox backwards compatibility is a download. It's not a stream because they have an actual emulator. Like it's the same thing with a ROM. Like if you download a ROM to a game, you actually control it with your PC or whatever Android device that you're mimicking, right? But with streaming, it's like they're taking the controller and just mapping it to that virtual controller online. That's how streaming is different.
But here's my question though, and the reason why I'm literally genuinely confused. I don't have PlayStation Now, and I've played.
You can get it for $1 now. They just advertised that today.
I heard. I have it now.
No, not the EBT card service.
Oh man, that for $1 you can get that. You can get that PlayStation Now for $1.
Don't do that.
For $1, baby. Go ahead.
I haven't used it yet, but my thing is this: I've had my PlayStation 4 offline and still played San Andreas. That's why I'm confused. How is it streaming?
Really?
There is a program on PS4 called PS2 on PS4.
Oh yeah,
Grand Theft 3, Grand Theft San Andreas, and Grand Theft Vice City. You download
a program.
Yeah, the program was called PS2 on PS4. So there was a very select,
because I got a Twisted Metal Black off of that.
Right, it's not but it's not.
But that definitely didn't come from Sony though, right?
Yes. It's Sony. It's very select few. Yeah. That's why I was confused. Like, so you guys are able to, and when you turn on San Andreas, it is the same PS2 blip that comes up on the screen.
Wow.
It's the same PS2
maybe they're using the PlayStation version. The PC version.
So Shady is saying that PS2 is emulated and can be played natively. PS3 games are streamed only.
That's why I was confused. I was just like, I don't use PS because there are games because you can
emulate the PS3 because of the cell processor, but the PS2 they could.
Right.
Yeah. So they've been had software emulation for all four. That's why I've been saying about the whole PS Now thing and how it should be like Game Pass is because they have that back catalog and they have the software emulation. And this is evidence of it.
Okay. Well, do anybody else want
goddamn copy?
Do anybody want to address that? What you was talking about, and then we can talk about Halo right fast because I do want.
I do.
I'm sorry.
No. Because we're here to
talk.
We're here to talk.
But I'm here to kill you and KMEGA, and you've been co-signing my BS all night. But I'm gonna say this for the record: Sony cuts off stuff that don't generate money. The PlayStation Vita launch is the best titles. After that, they didn't receive no support.
No support. It's sad.
They had Madden, right? So they hung on this long. Let's just be real. Sony is quick to bail out on a service. VR did good for them. Okay, I get that. But what I'm gonna say is, we should not be shocked. Ain't nobody out here fighting over Vita. When Vita was popping, or should have been popping, the consumer didn't want to buy in because their goddamn memory card, which was not
so
futuristic. It was expensive because they wanted to make a proprietary format to charge more because they didn't want to use regular memory cards. So it ain't like with the Xbox memory card, it's new technology and a new format. No, they just wanted to make a new format, which was the same memory card and
to
charge
make money
more
off
money.
of it. Yeah.
Right. So we
kind of
should
like
not,
what they want to do now with their SSDs or for the external.
You have another problem, but I ain't gonna get into that.
Right. That's a whole other discussion.
That's a whole other thing. But the thing is, what I'm saying is, we cannot be shocked. They should have never held it this long because you know how something. It's like God. You know, it's hard to say, but when a rapper dies and he was nobody, everybody buys his record. But when he's alive, they don't appreciate him. It's the same thing with their services. Now they want to kill it. Oh, why are you doing that? Where was y'all at 10 years ago? Where was that energy at? Because the developers is the one who make the games, who didn't get the sales, who said, we're not supporting this platform. So Sony said, we out.
All right, my bad.
So how can we complain or have a grievance with Sony? It shouldn't have went this long. When is the last time you bought a brand new game for the Vita? Tell me, D.
Not to negate your point, but a year ago when I worked at GameStop.
Was it an old game?
Technically they're all old games because they haven't
facts.
In the stores they haven't released a lot of things. Now
they haven't released Jack.
But I think
maybe in Japan.
But I think I think what you're missing though, 108 is that if Sony was saying what they said just last year about they believe in generations, then I can understand that. But because now they backtracked on what they said, and now they're putting games on the PlayStation 4, and then they're trying to promote PlayStation Now, which has older games on it. It's like, then why the hell would you take away this unless they have something up their sleeve to where they will implement.
They don't have nothing up their sleeve. They're not making no money.
Well, I mean that's yet to be determined. But I'm just saying that's the only way to do it. If not, then I think it's crummy as hell for them.
How many times you gonna listen to Sony? How many times? I'm still waiting for the power of the SSD to improve gaming AI. They always say something that don't.
I know that, but I'm just saying, like, okay, but hold on, but this is the thing too, though, that they closed the store, and if you go and you look at the stats of active users, they still have 104 million users on the PlayStation 3 right now. So I mean, so
2019. That was 2019. That was 2019.
Hold on. But okay, that's 20. That's 20. That was 20 and 19. But so you reduce about what? About 20 million? They still have.
This is what you do.
Right.
You know, Sony's is the liquidator and fabricator of numbers. They take the same account across all PSNs.
This wasn't from their page. This was from somewhere else. We're talking about their active.
So I'm saying, you know how Sony fabricate numbers. You understand what I'm saying? We can't go by what Sony say. Because they'll lie in your face and tell you,
which is sad,
that SSD will change your life. Really?
Right.
Come on. It's a lie.
Don't even.
Yo, can I get in on this?
Oh yeah, sure, yeah. LG. Hold on, no, I just want to say. Hold on.
Let me just say
this because LG got somebody in the background that's talking loud, and I can.
Hold on.
Yeah. Okay. All right.
So I'm not knocking anybody's point. The Vita been dead since launch. I don't care how many sold. It needs to be supported by the community. The community needs to support it. They're even lucky that it lasted this long because Sony is quick to bail out. I bought the Vita. I saw no support, just like the Wii U. I saw no support. I said both of these systems are out of here. I got $200+ for both systems because I peeped the game early. The launch titles was the best titles. Nobody got no memorable moments with the Vita. The PSP, something else. But the Vita was the best handheld console ever created that never got off its legs.
Yeah. After I've seen what they did with
the gaming community that's putting emulators, that don't count. That's a niche crowd. That's what dudes are doing with the Vita. Now they mad.
Well, what they did with the PlayStation Go that's when I was skeptical about the Vita.
Yeah.
Because I invested in the Go because I love the PSP so much, and I was like, man, all right, the Go is a whole nother level. And then I mean, that thing went away lickety split like it was kitens before it even got started.
I saw them support recently that they're reinvesting to is the PlayStation VR.
It's VR, right?
They're sticking with that, but everything else.
Even that's not even doing that good.
No, it sold more. It sold more than Oculus at the time that it came out, and the Vive, because those was financially out of everybody's reach. Right now, the Quest 2 is blowing everybody out the water. But what I'm saying is, at least they're going back into it. They created new controllers. They're giving a new headset. Only thing they need to say is backwards compatibility to the old games. But what I'm saying is they're sticking with that. But let's not talk about them sticking with the Vita because they bailed out the first year and a half.
Yeah, but there's a lot of retro gamers out there. I think really that's the overall point that I think that D is trying to make.
Okay, Mega, you missed my point about a rapper getting killed and then everybody
buys
music.
I
when
get
people
it.
hear something getting killed, they want, I need that. I need that now.
I know that, but it's still, but the point of the matter is that.
But it's not just the Vita though. Like at that point, it's not just the Vita though. It's PS3. It's PS3 going too. Right. And PS3 is still solid. Like and that's the part that's getting me. Like, it's solid over here. There's still people that play the backwards compatibility games. Like, like D mentioned earlier, I find it crazy how like a lot of people are like, oh well, it's PlayStation. Okay, we're cool with that. But if Xbox does it, it's an issue. Mm-hmm. If Xbox were to cut that shit off right now, folks will be, everybody will be burning their Xbox.
What happened at the end of the Xbox One X life? They said, we are not working on no more backwards compatible to 360 OG Xbox. What do you mean? Because we're moving forward. We're moving forward. That's why.
It was a good program. I'm sorry. They took suggestions. Y'all can get y'all little votes, make your little voice heard or whatever. But there are so many that you could, and the fact that they took it over to the Series X, which is cool because it's 4 generations. Granted, there are some games that I'm just like, yeah, I'm good on that. But y'all got it. I'm not going to bash it because I'm not interested. So there are some Xbox games, I think Star Wars Battlefront is original Xbox. People rave about it. Mm-hmm. The OG one. I'm like, okay, that's kind of cool. Nostalgia. Awesome. But I just don't see what's wrong with having choices. And it's just like, people are like, oh, they need to remaster this. They need to remaster that. I'm like, but why? When we can play it right now.
And the way that the way that these new consoles operate, they enhance these games if they just take the time out to, and I think that's also too that they don't want to go through all the red tape of what like Xbox is doing with their older titles and doing that. But okay,
but it's a huge investment. It's not like they can say, oh, let's just do it. They got to invest that money, and they're looking at the future. They're not going backwards. Microsoft said we're going to stop adding OG Xbox games in 360. We'll add more Xbox One games, but we're going to move forward. And I'm not mad at them. Some people was mad. How you gonna be mad? They gave you a catalog of crazy games.
Yeah, I ain't gonna lie. I was grateful. My fingers were crossed.
And they just dropped Indiana Jones.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh.
I'm like,
that's an OG Xbox game.
Let me just get Grand Theft 4, Saints Row 2. I'm good. Like my cloud saves is there. I'm good. Y'all ain't gotta do nothing else.
Facts. That's another awesome thing.
I'm not gonna lie.
Better situation, man.
Well, yeah, and just with the PlayStation, like there's a Resistance game. They're the Zone. I forgot the Killzone games. Then there's a Heavenly Sword.
How dare you mention that game
the first two were really good. What are you talking about?
Shut your own mic off.
So you didn't like the first Killzone?
That series is terrible.
Oh man,
it sold 500,000.
Who cares about what it sells? Come on, bro.
It wasn't good, son.
Don't be one of those. Don't be one.
They came out when Halo came out and got punished,
bro. Say that stuff for your podcast. That's just asinine.
That's the fact. The game was not good.
The Killzone 2 was bad.
You said one.
I said both of them. They both were good to me, and I thought Resistance was really good.
Right.
Yeah, and then like Heavenly Sword and other stuff. There was a lot.
Heavenly Sword is awesome. That needs like 5 sequels.
Right, but
it did get a sequel. Horizon Zero Dawn. My bad.
Oh.
You're disrespectful. Okay, all right. So, Slayer said he wanted to say something about this before we get to before we really actually talk about Halo and get out of here.
No, I can finally have my turn now.
Yes, sir. Go ahead.
But yeah, I do got to step out, y'all. Y'all guys have enjoyed the rest of y'all stream. Y'all have y'all good night, man. Keep up the good work, y'all. Appreciate y'all for letting me in here, bro.
Yeah, no problem, man. Tell everybody where they can find you at, LG.
Y'all can find me 210LG, Twitch, Facebook, YouTube, whole bunch of numbers and letters. I'll drop you the link.
All right, man. All right, man.
Y'all be easy.
Good night, brother. All right.
Good night.
Go ahead. Go ahead, man. Slayer.
Oh, it's my turn finally?
Yeah, I'm sorry.
Okay,
brother.
So there's multiple things I just want to say, so I'm just gonna hit the points and then we can move on.
I can't believe he said the Killzone 2.
First off, this is Sony. First off, this is Sony. What the hell did you expect? You know what they do when it comes to their online servers. It's not like with Microsoft with Xbox Live, where at least at base level, the servers are peer-to-peer. If there's 2 people on all of Xbox Live, or Xbox Network, small n, right? If there's 2 people on the entire Earth who playing Daytona USA, they can play with one another. Microsoft hasn't got to reactivate servers or nothing, okay? They just hop on. That's how Live works. It doesn't have dedicated servers for this and that in that way where, they just shut off the servers for a game that supported that game and now you can't play that game online anymore. It's dedicated where all the servers can do whatever at any time. So, Sony doesn't have that. So as soon as they see a game isn't doing too well online, they're shutting those servers down because it's costing them money. And servers is not cheap. And they can put that onto the next game. And that's what they do all the time. The only other companies you see do scummy stuff like that are the typical EA, Take-Two, what have you. Okay, one of the reasons why EA didn't want to be on Xbox Live initially was because they wanted to run their own servers. Okay, and remember, anytime EA would launch a game on Xbox Live, day 1 the servers didn't work. Day 2 the servers didn't work. Day 31, maybe the servers finally worked because EA wanted to run their own, and every time they would fall flat on their faces, no matter how hot the game was. Okay? That continued on for God knows how long. Like, it just is what it is with Sony. You already knew that was going to happen, and it just goes to show that both the PS3, the PSP, the Vita, I said both, all 3 of these just getting all axed all one time. It probably has also to do with the fact that they have these Azure servers and stuff with Microsoft, so maybe they're transitioning to the whole network thing, and Sony's looking at, we need to cut some fat. We're not gonna to port over all this old server code and stuff for these old platforms. Let's just sunset them, and boom, it's done. But let's not also forget about this whole report about batteries and stuff on the motherboards of these PlayStation consoles, both the PS3 and apparently a PS4. One day they're gonna do the same thing they did to the PS3 servers as the PS4 servers, although less likely because those games also run on PS5, so probably not actually. But knowing Sony, it wouldn't be too surprising nonetheless. Shout out to what D said before. Like, was anybody truly surprised? It was always a matter of time. On these platforms were on borrowed time when it comes to online anyway. It just is what it is. It was always what Sony was gonna do. It's a shame that these servers will be dead, and even though you have discs and particularly the PlayStation fans, it's not a knock, but you guys always used to bring up physical copies. That's all great and all. You got the game on disc, but what about the patches? A lot of PS3 games were ass at launch. Okay, until patches came out. Remember, the PS3 had a long struggle before it was seen as a game platform where all the games would run well and stuff. That happened late in life. So there was a lot of patches. Well, now you won't be able to get these patches. If you'd already have them on their drive, they're gone. But even if you have them on the drive and then your battery dies, that's gone too. So now you gotta go to some hack or a modder to do something, and hopefully the firmware that you have on your PlayStation is a vulnerable one that they can hack into, and it's this whole big mess. And the whole time, they could be doing what Game Pass is doing. I constantly say it. They have 4 consoles and 2 handhelds of back of so much old stuff that they could leverage with emulation content that would destroy Game Pass just content-wise alone, right? They could just dump it all because it's all emulators and stuff, and boom, just dump it all one time. You good.
6 layer
and profit.
Totally
but they're not gonna. And they never will.
They don't have it. Do y'all even know the reason that PlayStation have so many compatibility issues?
I
Hey,
don't
man.
honestly.
It's the
I don't.
complexity of their hardware, frankly.
No, it's not.
Each one.
No, it's not.
Well, the
Is it money?
PS3 and the
It's money?
PS3, the PS2, and PS. Well,
They're
the
all
PS3,
different.
PS2, I
We
would
get
say.
that point.
It's money. Right?
Remember when they used to make consoles back in the days? The engineering team never talked to the software team.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
That was the problem. It was a communication issue.
Yeah, they
Remember,
never looked
gave the
into
system-
what
They gave
gaming
the
was
system
going
to
to be,
people and didn't even tell them how to program it. They had to figure it out.
Right, but now we're at a point. All this time later, we have emulated for PS1, 2, 3, 4, and
Made
I
by
don't mean
Tom,
the
Dick, and
home.
Harry.
Whoa! Slow down. See, this is what I was just about to say when you cut me off and you laugh and think you're right, but you're flat wrong.
Woo!
I'm not talking about the homebrew
I'm not
stuff.
wrong. I'm
not
not wrong.
Delicious
You are wrong, and you
slander.
were wrong about the emulation before. You know I know everything about emulation. You say it all the time, so you can't question me on this. You need to just
I
hear
can't
me out.
question you,
Sony-
mother sucker.
Sony in-house has emulation for all 4 of their consoles. They emulated the PSP on the Vita. They have emulation for all of their stuff. They could do this. They just don't.
They just want to. They
Who
don't
made
want
the best? Who made the best PSP emulation? What was
Sony,
it
'cause
called?
it ran on the Vita.
Nope. The PPSS something runs on everything.
Okay.
That's
All
a
right.
fact.
Okay, all right.
That doesn't change
Don't
what I
tell me I'm
said.
wrong.
Sony has their own. Sony has their own, and they
I
can
want to
do
see
it.
the
They can
proof. I
do it
want to see the
now.
proof in the pudding.
I just told you.
No. I
just
don't
told you.
want you to tell me. I want you to show me the
Gentlemen,
proof.
Just let me-
gentlemen,
you're wrong, just give it up. Just give it up.
Gentlemen, stop,
Yeah,
stop,
you do
stop,
that. 'cause
stop,
you
stop.
No.
No.
We
No.
promote
You
facts.
no.
Everyone
Hold on.
also.
Okay, hold on. I'm gonna mute you both. Stop. We got another topic that we need to get into, and we're not gonna see who's right or who's wrong about that. That's it.
Now, hit it in
Okay,
the
let
chat,
it be.
Google.
All right, so that's all you need to do on that. So let's get on to the Halo situation, and then so we can get out of here. You know what I'm saying? I mean, we can't be one to challenge each other because
No, we're
somebody thinks
supposed
they're
to
right or
challenge
wrong.
each other because he's
No,
saying something that's not facts.
no. You can challenge each other, but we're not going to have a long debate
No,
when
we're not.
we're already over 3 hours on the show just to talk about something that minute. That's irrelevant. We're not doing that. All right, so let's get on to the Halo news, and I'm going to go to you first, Rain. So here we go. Let me read some of this stuff out because it's a pretty deep list. All right, so some of the stuff that's supposed to be coming into the Halo multiplayer, it says Forge and Halo Infinite is going to shape the entire multiplayer. They're leaning very heavily on Forge, or at least that's their plan. 343 did what 343 did with Forge is they made it so powerful that they could make full-on game modes from other games. They did actually completely test out Battle Royale. They found problems with doing an official dev created Battle Royale. So they decided not to let the devs do it officially and let it just be created through the Forge. What I was told is while they were testing Battle Royale using Forge, essentially they created and added new Battle Royale tools to Forge. Halo Infinite, when it launches in Forge, they're gonna have specialized Battle Royale tools. I don't know exactly what they gonna be, but
Even though I have never.
I hear a TV or something in the background. What's going on?
That might be me. Hold on.
I'm so.
All right. It says I don't know exactly what they're going to be, but they're going to be they're going to be in the zone, in some kind of zone. Officially, Battle Royale system in Forge. Forge apparently is so powerful that they were actually able to completely recreate basically one of the most popular first-person shooter games out of their Forge. Claims not to be able to share which one because it would get somebody in trouble. But based off what I was told, Halo Infinite multiplayer is basically going to be divided into 2 parts. Dev created and then community created, which will be very heavily based around Forge created content, community created content. On the dev side, you will have Big Team Battle 2.0, and then our favorite classic modes like Team Slayer, Free for All, and Breakout. On the other side of the game, the menus are supposedly be very sleek, easy to use, easy enough that even kids can use it. For what I was told, you're gonna have obviously some kind of custom game browser that will that you're gonna have community created Forge content, kind of like what I see in Halo 5, and then I
Right.
think the same thing like you can do in the Master Chief Collection. The
Forge
third,
came from two.
what'd you say?
Forge started in two.
Okay, and then the third type of content they're going to feature is going to be from the content creators. This was told to me by a very vague way or whatever. Claims that it will be hinted as a big name like Ninja could be involved, featured after questioning their source on one point. I'm going to drop some more information on the Big Team Battle 2.0. I know a couple of things about it, not a lot, but Sean says he will release some of this information here in the next couple of days. So anyway, so basically Big Team Battle. One thing that I think that Halo 5 had the biggest problem with was that the modes on the multiplayer, because they were so focused on the Warzone aspect of it. And you know how like some gamers are really not cool about change, and so when they didn't see Big Team Battle, but they seen Warzone, they automatically hated it until they actually played it, and then they got adjusted to it. They liked break. There was a lot of people that liked Breakout. You know, of
Propose,
course,
man.
Slayer. What?
Hmm.
Yeah, so all that sort of stuff. But Big Team Battle is very essential because I was upset when I didn't see Big Team Battle, and it didn't come until way later. But the one thing that has me really excited within that is that not only are we seeing that they're going to be bringing Big Team Battle, but the Forge maps, and that they're going to just open the floodgates. What is
Hmm.
your thoughts about all of this? And I mean, and what do you think about the whole battle royale situation, letting the community create a battle royale game and not the developers themselves?
I mean, honestly, since about I want to say Halo Reach,
Hmm.
what they've been working towards, in as far as like the Forge goes, I don't know how many people might be familiar with Red versus Blue. Um, there was so much potential within the Forge as far as like even with custom games, just building maps or just building your own games and then putting them in the browser. There was so much hidden potential there. And then if you think about the consoles we were playing on at that time and what we're moving into, even though the game is going to be cross platform, well, cross gen, excuse me. Um we're in a point where I'm also assuming that what they've been able to do with the slip space engine has allowed them to kind of open it up as far as Forge goes. Again, um, when you say things like, "Oh, they tested out battle royale and they couldn't settle on a battle royale that they would put in specifically,"
Hmm.
it kind of opens the floodgates for me because it's like, okay, well, what does that mean? There's just so many options, you don't know what option would be the best, or and is that why you want to leave it up to the community? Or is it more you wanted to stick the safe approach and say, well, we don't want to put it in there because we don't want it to be just any old battle royale game, because apparently you can also do that within the Forge. If you're telling me that you can create any game mode from any game that is currently out, that's kind of crazy. You know what I mean? Like this having that much flexibility within one game. I mean, again, it kind of speaks on their longevity that they've been speaking on.
Hmm.
They're doing the same thing that Bungie is doing with the 10-year plan thing, with them rolling with Destiny, and it looks like they're doing the same thing here with Halo. Um, Again, man, I mean, from everything that you said, it doesn't do anything but build up anticipation, build up hype. For me personally, because as a Halo fan, it's just there's so much just riding on the game being solid all around. It just can't be multiplayer. It just can't be the story. It has to be both aspects. Even when you go into private matches, it has to be taken to a different level and make its mark. Once again, you know what I mean? Within the community, within the gaming space, uh, really, I mean, honestly, that's it. I think it's exciting news, man. I mean, if it comes to be true, uh, exciting news.
Uh,
So,
I think Blue Moon said me and you sound the same. That's crazy.
I don't think so.
I don't
But
think so either. I think it's
that
just,
sounds
I
weird.
mean, smooth voices. I mean, that's just what it is. I mean,
Hey,
it's all
maybe he
right.
likes that.
Yeah, hey, it is. Anyway,
Okay.
he
Okay.
says it in a good way, but I mean, you know what I'm saying? Soothing,
See what I tell you? He likes
milky
it in a good
voice.
way.
Yeah, like ain't nothing wrong
Yo,
with that.
KMEGA, so you just admitted you got a milky voice?
Yeah, it's silky.
Oh
Yeah, it's
Lord.
silky
This is
smooth.
what we doing live?
Bro, what's the problem? So I should mute myself. Is
Yo,
that what you're
Rain, you
saying?
got a man voice. I don't know about this milk stuff. Milky
Oh
chilling.
my
It's a
God.
chilling. What more can I say?
Say
Top billing.
Billy. Yeah,
Listen,
I'm
Out of
doing.
here.
he
I'm
got
doing.
the
My voice is
milky
milky.
I was hitting the bar
And
from an East Coast cut.
you
What's
know
wrong?
what?
What's wrong with
Next
that?
time we go to E3, you stay over there with that.
Oh man, I'm gonna be right there in your video, all of your
How did
videos.
we end up
I
here?
don't know. I don't know. I better mute
Your
myself.
voice
Anyway,
is milky.
I got one
Oh,
more. I got one more thing else to add to this Halo news though.
That's it.
To get your opinion, Rain, is that okay? So
Yeah.
also that there was I know that uh Clowns and them had that interview with
Mm-hmm.
the voice actor,
Master
the
Chief,
Master
yeah.
Chief, yeah, which is
Chief
really cool.
Master.
There's also some other stuff that there was another person that had an interview with this one particular actor. I cannot think of his name, but he confirmed that he was going to be in Halo Infinite, and he was most likely a part of Team Taurus, which is somebody that's supposed to be a part of that Shadow team that's with that's connected somehow to the red team or the Affinity or something. I mean to the Affinity. I'm sorry, not red team, but to Infinity. And so
Okay.
with him being there, and then also Tanaka from Team Osiris, you know what I'm saying? Hashtag Save Lot.
Right.
She confirmed that she was going to be on there. She definitely had a role in there. So what it seems like to me, which is very exciting, is what I've been asking for, is that it seems like it's going to be all hands on deck. It's just that everybody's just separated and that everybody's trying to get together. And it seems like there's going to be probably weird, odd teams of different, Spartan teams, connected. Like let's say that Tanaka is going to be probably meet up with maybe the guy that's from the Spartan that's from Team Taurus,
Right.
or things like that. And then like Chief is out here doing his stuff solo, but everybody else start getting together, or they're captured or something like that. What do you think about that? I mean, just knowing that there could be potential that all hands is on deck because of the threats that's going on in Halo Infinite.
I mean, honestly, it opens it up. Again, I'm kind of sad. The only thing that I was really sad between Halo 4 and 5 is that they didn't introduce Team Osiris more. Them being more part
agree.
of on the side with Oni and everything that Buck had going on. Especially, why would you create an entire Halo ODST game, focus on the character Buck, and then not demonstrate him becoming a Spartan himself, and then becoming part of Team Osiris? Like, and you see it in Halo 5, like he's there, like, you know what I'm saying? You see it in 4 and 5, he's there, you know what I mean? And it's like, but you never tell the backstory of all the missions that they've had to go on, because that entire story, which is messed up, I mean, that you have to go look in a book or listen to a book to get that entire side of that story. So the fact that if they're going to start including these teams, that sounds like what you need to do to have a successful 10-year plan in Halo. Because again, the trailers, like they were having it, like the trailer that they had for Halo 5, that initial intro scene, when they're coming down that mountain, the game needs to start looking like that. We need to, like, Spartans are mobile. That's what gets me tight about the Halo community, bro. Like, y'all want this old school Halo, and then but you hype about Spartans doing magical things down mountains. Like, come on, bro. Like, what do you really want? Are we trying to evolve the series or not? So,
Absolutely.
I mean, it sounds good to me. I'm hyped for it. So
Cool. No, I totally agree with you 100%. All right, I'm going to go to you, PK. What is your thoughts about this? Of everything that I read off and said.
Well, I mean, this is touted to be the largest Halo game, and it's the first game to introduce their new physics engine. I imagine that there's a lot in store. Reason when they pushed it back. So I would say it's a good thing, and I can't wait to see. Back in Halo 3 is when they had a lot of not just creativity, but I remember even playing ranked where they record the entire match, and you can go into ghost mode and kind of fly around the map and see how the enemy would engage and see where they hide and all that good stuff. So bringing any form of tools to be able to create custom game map is great. Same thing I wanted Overwatch to do. Same thing I wanted them to bring back from Halo 3, right? And so it's a good thing. So I would just say let's wait and see. Let's not get our hopes up too high. Let's just see what they got to offer out the box. I'm sure they're gonna be working on it for time come on, and let's just keep it gaming.
No doubt, no doubt, no doubt. All right, so let me go to you. This 108. What is your thoughts about everything that I said, or do you have any take on it?
I breathe Halo.
Okay.
I am Master Chief.
Oh.
I should change my birthday to 117.
Oh.
January 1st, 17th.
Oh.
I want everything Halo bring, all the smoke. I just want some fresh new asses to whip in Slayer. Facts. I don't care. Yo, listen, we know they did the graphics over or updated the graphics. We know what we're getting. The Forge, I don't care about Forge. I don't care about Big Team Battle. I'm a Slayer dude. Straight competition mode. So I'm all for all the smoke. I just need a new Halo. I need a good story. I don't care if it's open world. I just want to see my boy Master Chief minus all the other Spartans and your man Locke. I'm a
Did you say minus?
Minus. I don't want you.
Ladies and gentlemen, this was 108 Dragons last show on GRG, man. Hey, man, he went ahead and said he was going to give an early retirement just focusly more on the slander.
I'm not getting on that boat. Panic. Find you at the bottom of the ocean, mad holes in the Hubbard, all that.
Oh,
we not doing that. Listen. As long as I see my man Master Chief and some grunts
man,
going.
my boy just hurt my feelings right now.
Those feet, man. Where is that?
Man, my feelings are hurt right now.
The two series I care about, which, like I said, if they kill off my man Kratos, I'm not buying no more God of Wars.
Oh, he's gone, Jack. They already set that up.
Okay.
No, he's gonna die at the very end, though. So
I don't know. Hey, did you see the new logo to God of War 4? It's red. That's atrocity. Yeah, that's Loki's stuff, man.
And it's shout out to you who didn't want to babysit his son because Sony said it makes you a better father.
Nope. I got my own kids. I don't need no more.
I'm just saying, those are the characters I love. You know what I'm saying? So listen. I'll be happy to have my man back. It will be November. That's a fact. I'll be happy to have my man back, and I'll be pushing Craig head back, all these wigs, multiplayer. Listen. I'm just excited. I don't care. Forge, Forks. I don't even care. We killing everybody on the block. Just be prepared.
All right, man. You really hurt my feelings, bro. The pain. Man, I grabbed my heart when you said that, man. That hurt me. That hurt me deep. Anyway, all right, so Sick, do you got anything you want to say about this before we go to the lady to end it?
We should not.
Oh, man. Oh, man. The disrespect is real around here.
I was saying, you can't disrespect Godzilla. King Kong get killed by planes. We can't do
that's
it.
a fact. That's a fact. They can't they messed up by making Locke go toe to toe with Chief. That just can't happen.
Hey, we ain't gonna have this Locke slander. Listen, I mean,
saying.
You know what? I can't do this. Hey man.
Even from the books,
with this bad back, I'm gonna have to make that trip, man, and we gonna have to just box it out right there. Like, listen. Listen, man. Talk about my boy. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Locke. Anyway, Slayer. Slayer. You got anything to say on this before we go to D to finish us off for tonight? Anything you got to say about this?
6 hours later.
I know. I know.
Wow.
Long night.
But let me tell you, man. Halo is a grab bag of everything, man. First and foremost, no matter who was in charge making a Halo game, they were always open with the community, always keeping us up to date with what they're doing, what they're thinking. Sometimes, they have some failures and say, yo, we tried this out and blah, blah, blah happened. And it's not working out. So we're thinking, we're going to take it out. Right. They let us know. We got some new sound samples of the weapons. And I know Steel Rain was going nuts over that.
Oh, they
in
sounded
the
great.
DM earlier. They sound ridiculous.
Ring gas.
Certain
that alien weapon went. Wow, wow, wow. I was like, whoa! That's it. That sounded hot. Woof.
Yeah,
many Halo games.
Sound system.
And that BR, doo-doo.
The collapse.
Somebody get burned, baby.
Many Halo games just people will complain about the sound of the weapons, and then other ones at first people say they sound good, then years later when the next one is up, then they'll say, oh that one sounded like crap too. But this time I feel it's different. They really, really, really sound good. But I'm gonna keep my eye open, and my ear to the ground and see, if that opinion changes yet again, because people love to complain about that in particular. I don't know why, that the running and all that other stuff. But Halo always gives you all these great modes. You can play Halo so many ways: online, multiplayer, Forge. They try and do this battle mode, but they want to hear what we think, because everybody's saying they don't want the same old battle royale, and then Halo never just does the same old anyway. When everybody was copying what's his name from Gears of War. They made Firefight that fit in within the world of Halo, and the logic and the game, the gameplay design that's central to Halo didn't change. They just changed the sandbox a little, and they changed the rules up a little. And speaking about the changing up the rules, that's the great thing about the multiplayer. You can go and set the rules however you want and make almost an infinite amount of modes, new modes, and they're adding new modes and new things all the time. They got a 10-year plan. Rest assured that every aspect of that is going to be iterated on in them 10 years. Like Halo, this is the Halo we've come to know and love for 20 years. And it looks like it's about to go on to 30, just the way we like it.
No doubt.
And those who want to sit here and complain, that's all they ever do anyway. Halo 5 sold the most, and it's the most recent one.
Tell that hate over there. Tell that
right in the least amount of time, because it was the
hate over
game.
there from Brooklyn.
All that hate about whatever aspect. It still made all this money.
Operation being too young to know Halo numbers.
Unlike Killzone 1, that's the one thing I'm gonna back you up on, Lemmy, because I'm kind of miffed at you, but whatever, homie. He's still my man. But Killzone 1, it flopped.
It flopped.
Killzone, it flopped on the PS2, 500,000. Now it's supposed to be the Halo killer. And the point that he was making with that sales, he wasn't giving it wasn't the typical sales talk he was trying to tell you. The point was that was on the PS2. That was their best-selling system ever, and it flopped harder than anything possibly could have from Sony being that high-end. It was a horrible game. So it just goes to show.
It wasn't a bad game. If you want to talk about sales,
it was a bad game. It took a whole clip to kill somebody if you were lucky. It was a bad game.
Hey man, sometimes you know what I'm saying, they was fighting some crazy enemies, man. They had to take the whole clip anyway. All right.
No, it's because you couldn't aim and the bullets didn't do nothing. It's true.
All right. Trash, but that's why you got me. That game was trash.
Oh my God. Okay, so D, I do apologize for your first time on the show, and that we gone this long, but you know what? You know what I'm saying? I really do appreciate you sticking around and listening to these shenanigans, because you hear what I have to deal with. You know what I'm saying? You hear what I have to deal with on a weekly basis, man. But it's all right.
We appreciate you.
Anyway, so D, do you have anything that you want to say about Halo before we start to sign us out, man?
Okay, so when it comes to Halo, just to be 100% transparent, and don't roast me, but I've actually never played a Halo game.
Man, I'm about to be done. Hey, everything that I said.
Wait.
That's not how you do it. You say, welcome to the party, pal.
Whoa.
Whoa. She has lots of Halo games to play now. Shoot, I'm jealous.
I know, let's go.
All right.
She's in the top.
No.
0.1%.
Okay, so explain yourself. Explain yourself, young lady. Explain yourself.
So I'm not gonna lie. I've been
Don't. All I gotta say is, don't let them pressure you doing something you don't
Pressure
want
you.
to
Hey
She
man,
said,
listen to this.
Peer pressure, peer
This
pressure.
this moist sucker over here talking about don't do
yeah,
man,
he's straight
stop that.
moist. He
Stop
is
that.
really
I'm
something to
I'm about
say.
to be Ike Turner on here, man. What are you talking about? You ain't playing no Halo. No, go ahead. Go ahead. Go
I,
ahead, G.
I,
It's called Flip That Trick.
I don't want to say that.
Uh,
I
go,
don't want to say
no. Let her explain. Okay, go ahead, D.
So I haven't played Halo. There was a very long time where I did not play first person, period. So as I've evolved with my gaming style, I have been encouraged to play it. And I do plan to play it once I get this expansion chip because I only got 20 gigs left. But anyways,
Yeah.
that being said, my viewpoint is very objective when it comes to the Halo news. Now, I could be wrong, but just looking at the patterns and the behaviors of gaming in the last 5 years, at the end of the day, whatever the fans expect it to be, whatever the fans want it to be and find enjoyable, that's what I want to take place. Given the last couple of years, it's a little bit of a light yellow flag to me that there is so much insight, so information about hyping this game up. We've seen what happens when hype implodes. I don't want that to be the case. The fact that, Destiny, for instance, Destiny just came out. Not just as in chronologically. I mean, as far as I can remember, it was like, hey, here's Destiny, please play it. But then Anthem came along and it was like, we have a 10-year plan. Mass Effect Andromeda kept being shown at E3 with no gameplay. And then when it came out, it was just like, this the shit y'all was hyping for, all this time. And there were so many interviews and this is what we're doing with the game. It was just like, that's cool. But, while y'all are showing me this, make sure the game ain't got to be patched when it comes out. Let the game just release and speak for itself. You know what I'm saying? So when I see, hey, I saw the sound effect video and it was really cute. The pug was cute. All the sound effects were lit. But my thing is just like, I'm seeing a lot of stuff about a game, but nothing about playing it. And I just hope that when it comes out, it's coming out in November. They delayed it because they showed it, I think, last summer with the, Piece Together showcase. Because, it's coronavirus. There's no E3. I hope this year that they've taken has been successful as far as making this game polished. No game is absolutely perfect.
Right.
But given, elephant in the room, given how Cyberpunk was, I hope that put every dev on notice, every company on notice. Like, yeah, y'all having Nightwire this and y'all making game change, y'all doing all this stuff, which is cool if your stuff works. You know what I mean? So I see it. I'm glad they're taking the time to do it. It's looking like they're making great process, but even though, I'm gonna play it because it's on Game Pass. If I got the space. Shout out to Game Pass.
Shout out to Game Pass.
Shout out to Game Pass.
The first one's first.
Gang.
But gang. But I needed a gang. I needed to be like everything and then some for the fans. I need there to be no grummy transactions. I need there not to be a 100 gig patch day one.
Oh,
like,
no, you're gonna get that. It's probably be about 150.
I don't care. Let it work. Let it work.
Yeah.
Just let it work.
That's what they base it on. The improvement. It's called.
I just feel like as we get more technology, the effort is getting less. It's release now, patch later. And I feel like that's such a disservice to people who have supported you.
You gotta blame 360 for that.
Blame who?
360.
I mean, whoever needs to blame going
first system that allowed, games.
Uh-oh.
Oh
That
no.
Brooklyn internet. Okay, go ahead.
I thought it was me. Jeez.
But I mean,
infrastructure.
Oh, he botting too. Oh, you botting. You botting.
Oh boy. But I mean, that's just, long story short, I'm getting away from myself. I just hope that's what it is. And I hope it's functional. I hope they're not putting everything on I hope they're not putting on Bethesda where they're putting it on their players to fix it and, making your own fun. I hope everything that comes out is just, what is expected and then some.
No doubt. No doubt.
I'm not sure about game of the year, but you know.
Yeah, no doubt. Hold on, let me read this from the friendly neighborhood Blue Shell. He said, just supporting the podcast. Thank you so much, man, for the support. He said, just supporting the podcast and my eventual confrontation with KMEGA in Halo 5. Brother, you know, it's all good. You wanted to try to hit me, but you know Thursday nights is when I'm really not doing anything because I'm setting up for GRG, doing all that other stuff. So yeah, no, you know what I'm saying? Saturday, if I'm not if we ain't playing lips tomorrow night, I'm with it. You know what I'm saying? We can do.
It was different,
bro. They were in there. They were playing lips right in there in the front. I told you.
Your wife and friends.
Yeah, well, wife and friends. But that's the thing. Like homies, I was playing that game with. No. Homies, I was playing that game
Them
with.
females is competitive
10, 12 years ago. They came over and they brought they wives and shit, and it was and let me tell you, like, women is completely so like D can tell you, like, women is real competitive. When my wife beat old girls, with my homeboy's wife in that Beyonce song, like, it got serious. Like, they was like in there to the left. I'm like, damn, they going at it. Like, it was great. It was fun. It's fun.
What was the Lady Gaga song on Dance Central? I had a million gamer score.
No Dance Central. No Dance
Listen, I played Dance Central.
I played Dance Central with my son. I still got the pad, but yeah.
I played with my daughter and her little dancing friends, and they couldn't beat my million score.
Oh yeah, bro. It's serious. Yeah, it's something about that game, Lips. And that was something.
Their pride.
There's something about it that brings that is, you know, and people just like karaoke games. I mean, that is a dope ass game. But anyway, all right. So let's get the hell out of here. I know we went way long. The longest. I don't know. I don't know if this.
The next time you come on this podcast, we're gonna talk about it. If you need some help getting the game or whatever, I got you. Xbox female. We're not doing this.
Well, we don't know. Did she tell you she was an Xbox female?
Yeah, she said that.
She did, yeah.
Okay.
I
was paying attention to her, but I was just saying.
For these indie companies, pay attention to your guests.
These indie companies. Hey man, she's a member now, bro. She's a member. She's family. So this is what it is. She's family. She did excellent. Hey, right off the bat, right here. Big shout out to D, man. You did a fantastic job, man. You did a fantastic job. You know what I'm saying? There are people in the chat. They love you. They appreciate what you're doing.
Aww.
Yeah. So you know what I'm saying? So definitely knocked it out the park. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, like I was stalking. I said, this girl got some talent. I'm gonna hit her up, man. Like, yeah. So
you got two on the podcast. They both light skinned. KMEGA and PK.
You know what I'm saying? And shout out to Minchie. Shout out to Minchie Dies Twice. You know what I'm saying? Companion. You know what I'm saying? Yes, we've got to do this.
Jesus.
Anyway, so so again, while we getting out of here, D, let everybody know where they can find you at. And man, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, just do that.
Okay, so on Twitter, I am at Gingy's mom. That's my dog. And then on Xbox and PS4, I'm not on the 5 yet. I'm Kirby Titan. I want to say on Switch, I'm the Ginge89. I have to double check it, but I'm pretty sure that's what it is. But mostly on Xbox, mostly action adventure, a lot of Game Pass stuff. So feel free to hit me up, leave a note. And, you know, I'll be out here.
Yeah, gang.
Yeah,
Game Pass, gang.
Live name should be I ain't played damn Halo yet.
Okay.
Hey, listen, we will definitely help you out. We're gonna have to listen. You're gonna listen. When you play when you jump in and you play Master Chief Collection, you know what I'm saying? The stories are great, but it's gonna drag along. But then when you get to 4, well, 2 is really good. 1 and 2 are really good. 3 story was cool, but at the end it kind of waned a little bit. But when you get to 4 and then 5, when you see the brother, you see Locke and Team Osiris, and you see them sisters, and you see
one thing.
You're gonna be hyped. You're gonna be like, let's do this. You're gonna be Halo for life. Anyway, all right. So let's get out of here. 6 Layer.
Men all day.
I'm gonna turn her to a Locke fan. I'm telling you, she's gonna be saying hashtag Locke.
Okay, so before I sign out, I'm gonna apologize to you right now for the flood levels. I'm sorry. Flood levels. Okay. I'm sorry. It's just you're gonna have to. It's the the clove in the recipe that didn't get grinded out. You feel me? And you're gonna bite into it and you're like, but we gotta push past it, and you'll have good times in these Halo games. But yeah, welcome, and
shout out to the slow ass Six Slayer introduction.
Right.
That's all right.
Anyway, I'm just saying those flood levels, man. Yeah, jeez, it's a scar in my soul. But anyway, yeah, you can check me out right here on GRG every Friday, 9 p.m. Eastern, every Saturday, 7 p.m. Eastern on that Dragons Den podcast. You know how we do on 108 Dragons TV right here on YouTube.
Nice.
And you can check me out Twitter everywhere great games are played.
A little bit harder than
Same
that.
name. I'm real tired right now. We went long.
We went way long. PK, are you still there? Is he still there? Is he still alive? PK, where can they find you at, brother? Yeah.
So you can find me here every Friday on GRG, every Saturday in the Dragon's Den. And then every Thursday.
He tried.
Sorry, I'm tired, guys.
Hey, man, you better put some emphasis on that den, man. That 108 goes.
The Dragon's Den.
That's right.
There you go.
Hey, look.
Dragon
like
It's been a long week. It's Friday.
Damn.
But you definitely can find me in Four Guys with Quarters every Thursday. Definitely doing some hot interviews and on my own channel for sure, bringing up new content. I just dropped the new. Hush. I just dropped the new. I just dropped a new video today, and trying to get things going. I'm got new branding and everything coming down the pipe. Hey, look, for sure. I love my brothers on this panel. I love everybody. Thanks for showing up. Thanks for the energy. It is a good time to spend some time with my friends and family here on Friday, and I thank you for every time you guys show up to watch us.
Do some Woodstock flowers.
No doubt. All right, Rain. I know that you're gonna have to. You probably have to go straight to bed, man. Damn, Rain. Still Rain. I know you got something to get up. Yeah, you gotta go straight to bed. Hey,
come on, homie. You can make up slack, man. I believe in you.
No,
Hey, man.
Chat, man. Drop the link to the channel in the chat.
That's a fact. No, I'm about to do that. I should have it.
You should have did that already.
No, I did it already in the beginning of the show. You can rewind it. It's up there.
Yeah.
I'm gonna rewind.
Exactly. But you know what it is, man. It's look, we had another great show, another great night. We got that energy in here again tonight, man, from top to bottom. You can't say the show was boring, man. We gave it to you live, raw, and uncut. That's what I'm about. That's how we gonna keep it. And other than that, man, appreciate y'all for tuning in the chat. Y'all was getting at it. Definitely was getting active in the chat. We appreciate y'all. Panel, man, again, another Friday's down the drain. We running late, but it was great overall.
Anybody employed? It's COVID.
Facts.
What?
Facts. It's your Friday night.
God.
It's your Friday night. Stay tuned.
I gotta go to 108 so we can get the hell out of here because I don't know what else he's gonna be saying. Wow.
But
they don't take it away no more, KMEGA. They don't take it away no more.
I know. But I'm just saying, what the hell? Anyway, but go ahead.
Anyway, just to end it up, man. Hey, every Friday, GRG, 8 p.m. Central, and again, man, Saturdays, 9 a.m. Living split screen, man, with me and my guy Ponso, man. Hey, we're here to get your weekend started, man, and started with high intense and high vibes, man. So,
morning coffee. I'm gonna need that.
Yeah,
that's a fact. Bring your coffee, bring your beer, bring your juice, bring your waffles, whatever you need.
Not the waffles.
Whatever you need.
Hey, man, better be pancakes. Pancakes for the win.
Whatever you want, man. You like it, I love it.
Hey, man, listen. You would be a waffle sucker.
Walmart.
You know what I'm saying? Anyway, all right.
man,
And 108 Dragons TV. Where can they find you at, man? Other than in the gutter. Where you at?
Every 9 o'clock. I'm trying not to do a live wire this week. I try to come in here on time. That's a fact. I made that my business.
You did. Excellent.
No, number two. I have a problem, people in the chat, man. I see a lot of y'all in here supporting my podcast, and I appreciate you. I'm supposed to be giving away a game, but you know what? Shout out to Game Pass for ruining my giveaway this month because they're giving they're giving away a game I was gonna give away.
Yeah, me too. Yeah, I was gonna give out Outriders. Yeah, I was
Game Pass keeps doing that. You plan to buy something that come out, and you sort of kind of in the back of your mind mad only because it messed up your plan. But hey, you saving money, but you still sort of mad because it messed up your plan.
I'm not saving money because I got to give a game away. So what I want y'all to do tomorrow in the chat, man, at the Dragon's Den tomorrow, I want y'all to come in the chat. I'm gonna mention a couple games, and I want y'all to vote on what y'all think should be March's giveaway because I usually announce it at the end of every month or going into the next month. So next Saturday, I'm gonna give away a game, and it won't be Outriders because it's in Game Pass. So I'm gonna have to give away something else. I'm gonna next month's giveaway will be the baseball game. I'm also planning content creators versus each other live streams in the baseball game. We're doing that. I meant to tell you that, KMEGA, if you're picking up the game. I'm doing that live. Even if you're a subscriber or a community member on Twitter, just get involved. Hit me up, OneAwayDragonsTV at gmail.com and tell me you want to be entered. And that, like I said, that'll be next month's giveaway. And we got a special guest tomorrow. She's also female, bringing the game in, giving the women that voice and giving y'all a different perspective. She'll be there tomorrow. And next week we got another big guest, but we gonna do that 1v1. But you know, One Away Dragon TV on everything, baby. And I appreciate everybody for coming through and supporting this podcast. And we definitely do it from different perspectives. I grew up with Sick, and we still debate, and that's why we keep it real at GRG. That's a fact.
Real quick. I got prediction. Baseball at the end of the season is gonna be on Game Pass.
That will piss off PlayStation fans. Whoa.
That would piss off Lemon. Yet the thought of it pisses him off now, but I can see it happening.
All right, I can see it. All right, guys. Well, thank you guys so much for hanging out. You know what I'm saying? I just got my second COVID shot, so I am officially done. I have in 14 days. Then, you know what I'm saying, I can sit here and hit the streets, and then, you know what I'm saying, and then it could be about that, you know, but let's
have your mask and stuff, though, bro.
Oh, yeah. Right. Keep your mask, you know, so keep your mask, got to keep it safe, you know what I'm saying?
Like people, the society's forever changed.
We're not out the woods yet, and then this is for the people out here, you know what I'm saying, I'm a black man, you heard all the, you know what I'm saying, the speculations about, you know, black people taking the, you know, the guinea pigs for the COVID shot, and that 5G towers was making COVID all that. So listen, ladies and gentlemen, as a person right here, the only thing that's going wrong with me is that my arm hurts like a son of a bitch because of the shot. It is what it is. I've got both of them, and I'm here. So please go out and stop listening to all this stupid rhetoric that you hear on the internet and all these because they will kill you. See, let me just make this little quick point. My daughter, she went and she was on that, listen to the internet, doing all that stuff. I said, look, you know, baby girl, you need to get that. Like, she's 21 years old, so it's like she's grown. But I'm like, you need to go do that. You need to get that shot. Oh, I don't believe in it. It's going to sit here and get to that. Next thing you know, I'm like, oh, well, you know, well, Dad, I might have to, I can't come by and visit. Why? Well, because I got to go get tested, and I got my mom sick. Oh, so your mama's sick with it. So what did I tell you? And I say, why your mama didn't take it? And she's like, well, because I told her not to. I say, so if she gets really bad shape, it's because of your ignorance that you listen to the internet. Please, people. Please, people. I've told you guys what happened to my uncle. He got ate alive from that shit. And from everything else, from Megatron, from so many other people that I've known that I've talked to, from listeners and everybody else. There's a person that was following me from Mixer that followed me on Twitch. His name was Fuhrer. He said he caught it. And I haven't heard anything from him. And I hope to God that nothing happened to him. You know what I'm saying? Because he was at every podcast, I mean every stream that I was at. And then he just said, I'm just really sick. I just can't. I'm sorry. And I just told him, no, just take your time. And I haven't heard from him in like 5-6 months. So I hope to God that he's fine and he's okay. Please be safe, people. Please be safe. And then once we get that shit, then it's back to the pants off, dance off. Let's get to it. Hit the clubs, hit the street. Anyway, but let's just do that. But other than that,
they're opening arenas in sports for vaccinated people and not vaccinated people. So I'm thinking E3 might run that same situation.
Right. And hopefully next year E3 will pop off. But let me just make this point. And even if you have to fake it and lie and still try to act hard to the public, I ain't taking that shit. Well, go just take it anyway, and just don't tell anybody that you took it. You know what I'm saying? But keep yourself safe for real. And then my last thing I want to say, I want to thank you guys so much for the support, for making me make the decision to try to making GRG a business. You know what I'm saying? I got my LLC for that, trademarks, everything that's under the GRG umbrella, which is Devin the Gamer, which is Fight Night Sundays, which is also you know what I'm saying, the new podcast. Well, it's been around, but it's going to be the actual new podcast that I'm going to be bringing, which that's why I introduced D tonight, which is to GRG Extra. That's all part of it. You know what I'm saying? So I'm definitely going to be taking this a hell of a lot more serious. And then also tomorrow, this is going to be the show. I got it set up to where I got like about 4 or 5 shows lined up. And so finally, GRG and Devin the Gamer will be on Spotify, on SoundCloud, on IM Radio, and then also on I'm trying to work on getting on iTunes, but we're also going to be doing we're also putting it on SoundCloud as well. So I will have all those links out tomorrow. This episode will be going out. It is real. I'm about to do this shit. We about to make this happen. So I hope you guys join me on this growth to where we're trying to get. So I appreciate everybody coming and checking us out.
Before we go,
bravo.
Yeah.
So D is permanent?
Yeah.
Well, welcome to the club, sister.
Anytime she want to come on GRG, it's fine. But she's going to be a new member for GRG Extra. Her and Minchie, and so I'm looking to get another lady, but you know what I'm saying, because I want it to be more of a woman-centric, you know what I'm saying, podcast with another fellow, but you know what I'm saying, but that's the goal, and that's what I'm doing. So you know what I'm saying. So I definitely,
okay.
Yeah. So no, I mean she's a winner, man. She's a winner.
I got my baby mom.
Yeah. So that's what we're doing. We're gonna have the ladies have a voice, be strong, you know, just like we did when we first started GRG with Infamous and Delilah. So that's what we're doing. So all right, buddy, have a good one. We're getting the hell out of here. Finally. Good night. Peace.
We out.
Hey, thanks for checking out the GRG Podcast. All your gaming news and our special topic of the week. Make sure to join us every Friday night, 9:30 Eastern, 8:30 Central, and 6:30 Pacific. This was the GRG Podcast.